It's Wednesday, May 27th.
I'm from California. This is like way hotter than I was expecting.
The Canadian prairies and parts of Europe gripped by the first heat wave of the season.
Prime Minister, Mr. Guilbeault, has he told you about his future, sir?
I'm a good friend of Stephen. I've worked a lot to bring him in politics, and he will always be a good friend.
I ask you about the 14th.
Former Cabinet Minister Stephen Guilbeault is set to resign as a member of Parliament over the government's climate policies.
Why don't we hold off on this referendum talk for a year or two and see if we get these pipelines under construction? Because at the end of the day, we want Canada to succeed.
For a second day, talk of unity was undercut by the issue of Alberta separation at the meeting of Western premiers. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Good morning and happy Wednesday.
We are in for a hot one, and you got some stats for us.
Yeah, we do. Well, we're talking about some heat dangers. This is just a reminder for everybody watching. We do have a lot of the heat warnings in effect across the province. So just take note of what's on your screen right now. Heat exhaustion versus heat stroke. And this is your reminder that heat stroke is a medical emergency. Environment Canada is asking you to call 911 if you have any of these symptoms.
Yeah, and don't leave any of your pets or kids in the car while it is running. You just don't want to get into that danger. Let's talk heat in news. 6:01. There is concern that a record heat wave in the prairies could create dangerous wildfire situations.
You know, when you get temperatures in excess of 30 degrees and then you add these, 50, 60 kilometer-an-hour winds, it dries things out really fast.
Environment Canada has issued heat warnings for eastern parts of Alberta, most of southern Saskatchewan, and parts of southwestern Manitoba as well. Not even 2 weeks ago, you may remember some of these areas were getting snow and had temperatures around freezing. Recent moisture, including some rain in Alberta, has slowed the start of wildfire season, but Alberta and Saskatchewan are under high to extreme wildfire risk anyway. A heat wave happening in Europe is breaking records.
I'm from California. This is like way hotter than I was expecting.
The Met Office posted this morning the UK record for the highest minimum temperature for the month of May was broken for a third night in a row. This after the UK broke a record for high temperature for a second day in a row. France also recorded its hottest day on record yesterday at 36 degrees. In Italy, people and animals are trying to keep cool. Temperatures are expected to rise today with some relief possible by tomorrow. Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault is expected to announce his resignation today as a Liberal MP.
Prime Minister, Mr. Guilbeault, has he told you about his future, sir?
I'm a good friend of Stephen. I've worked a lot to bring him in politics, and he will always be a good friend.
I ask you about the 14th.
Guilbeault's resignation is believed to be over his climate policy concerns. He quit Carney's cabinet last year after Ottawa's energy deal with Alberta was made public, which included certain rollbacks on climate policies and the promise to work toward a bitumen pipeline. This could affect the Liberals' thin majority, with two other shifts eventually triggering 3 by-elections. Plus, more than a dozen Liberal MPs wrote to the Prime Minister in April expressing worry over changes to methane and clean electricity regulations in Alberta. There was more friction over Alberta separatism at the Western Premiers meeting.
The issue, I think, in the court is whether that duty to consult should apply to citizen-initiated petitions. And that's where I think that the court erred in judgment.
I think we know that is not correct, a lot of what you just said there, Premier Smith. It is not up to the petition gatherers to fulfill the duty to consult. It is up to you as the Alberta government to fulfill the duty to consult.
Wab Kinew also urged Alberta Premier Danielle Smith to hold off on a referendum until major projects get off the ground. Premier Smith did not respond. The 2-day meeting wrapped up with a commitment to growing the economy as a united Canada. Also on the issue of separation, Prime Minister Mark Carney said a 50+1 referendum result wouldn't be enough to break up the country.
For under a Clarity Act, it is absolutely not, and I would just recommend that you read the Clarity Act. It's very clear. Not surprisingly, the Clarity Act is very clear, and a determination, and there's a series of conditions which I responded in the House for the record.
The Prime Minister was responding to a comment made in the House by a Bloc Québécois MP who suggested bare majority would be enough. Carney said the House of Commons won't weigh in on whether the question on Alberta's upcoming referendum is clear. That's because that vote is not binding. Canada is expected to sign a large-scale LNG agreement with Germany.
This announcement that the federal government will be sharing more about is about how we can work together to deepen those trading relationships around the world, in this case with Germany, and it really reflects what is possible when we work together.
Natural Resources Minister Tim Hodgson is expected to make the official announcement today in Vancouver. Early reports suggest German firm SIF is poised to buy liquefied natural gas shipped from BC. That planned export facility is proposed by Western LNG, a consortium of Canadian natural gas producers called Rockies LNG, and the Nisga'a First Nation, who own the land for the project. It will have a capacity of 12 million tons of LNG per year, making it Canada's second largest export facility. As an Ebola outbreak grows, new travel measures are now being put in place to prevent cases from spreading here.
We have many people coming for the FIFA games. Luckily, at this point in time, none of these countries affected are playing in Canada.
Officials say about 350 people enter Canada from Congo, Uganda, and southern Sudan each week. As of midnight tonight, immigration applications from the region will also be suspended. And starting Saturday, people traveling from those countries will face additional screening. Those who show symptoms will be sent to hospital for assessment. Others will have to self-isolate for 21 days. The number of cases continues to rise in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Uganda, and South Sudan. There is no vaccine for this strain of Ebola. Advocates rallied outside the Regina Police Headquarters demanding for greater justice in relation to multiple privacy breaches. Through an open letter and petition presented to the Regina Board of Police Commissioners, women and allies are calling for an independent review of Regina Police Service following 3 separate cases involving breaches of trust, privacy, and inappropriate communications involving RPS members in the past few years. The call comes shortly after one RPS officer was charged under Saskatchewan's Privacy Act for accessing the personal information of 6 people on the database.
It's not fair to the women who have been victimized by this, who are dealing with, I've met some of the victims. It is lifelong trauma.
We've all been notified that these cases need to be taken very seriously and that accessing information for not bona fide reasons will not be tolerated.
The Regina Board of Police Commissioners says its focus is to implement a number of actions over a period of time to build trust back between police and residents. Jeremy, let's bring you in now. It is Saskatchewan Mining Week. Good morning.
Good morning, Daryl. For the first time to mark the occasion of Saskatchewan Mining Week, cameras and journalists were welcomed inside Nutrien's pilot plant. Now, inside this Saskatoon facility, engineers and technicians test new technology and look for ways to make potash operations more efficient, cost-effective, and safe. The facility includes labs, testing areas, and workshops designed to improve the quality of potash used to produce fertilizer for farmers. The company says the work done here helps support all 6 of the company's potash mines in Saskatchewan.
So this space gives us the opportunity to de-risk projects. We can run experiments here, we can run mini circuits here without disrupting the operations, which can have real impacts if we shut down production, right? And so this is a safe space to test that kind of stuff and to do those projects.
At 24 to 25 million tons per year, nearly a third of the global share, Saskatchewan is the world's largest producer of potash. Well, as these temperatures soar, the city of Saskatoon says all 22 of its outdoor spray pads will open for the season Friday. Spray pads will operate daily from 10 a.m. till 8 p.m. During the week in June, spray pads near school grounds will turn off 5 minutes before recess and lunch breaks and resume 5 minutes after breaks are over. The Ernest Linder Park will be closed for the season for park upgrades. Brighton Core Park and Thornton Park will see delayed openings because of some repairs. Daryl, an update over an evacuation order yesterday in California.
That's right. It's fully lifted for people living near a damaged tank containing hazardous materials. This is in Southern California. Temperatures inside the tank fell enough to eliminate the risk of a catastrophic explosion. But while there's no longer a risk of a major explosion at the GKN Aerospace Transparency Systems plant in Garden Grove, officials will still monitor the air and keep checking sewer and storm drains over the next several months. About 50,000 residents had to leave their homes last week after that tank overheated. Scary stuff there. At least one person has been killed in a major chemical rupture at a paper mill in Washington state.
The tank remains unstable. Crews are actively assessing the structural integrity of that tank and working on plans to stabilize that tank before additional recovery operations can safely proceed.
All right, so 9 people were hurt and 9 employees are still missing after the chemical tank failed. Authorities say ongoing recovery efforts are extremely complex due to the unstable tank. It contains white liquor, which is a chemical mixture used in the paper-making process. Members of the Washington National Guard will assist in the search and recovery efforts now. NASA has laid out its plans to build a permanent base on the moon.
We envision the moon base to be hundreds of square miles with different assets, all building up to the objective of permanent lunar presence on the moon.
Moon base will be process to build this base on the moon's south pole will take at least 10 years. But before that, NASA is planning a series of missions to lay the groundwork. This involves sending robots and drones to map the lunar surface. NASA also wants to land Americans on the moon before President Donald Trump's second term ends in 2029. There is also the upcoming Artemis 3 mission. NASA is scheduled to name the crew and give the mission update on June 9th. Moon base, are you renting an apartment on the moon?
You know what? No, probably not.
My
Earth
goodness.
is my home.
That is so much red behind you.
That is, and you want to know, actually 260 heat warnings currently in effect in Saskatchewan for cities and rural areas. Environment Canada issues these heat warnings when there is an elevated risk for heat illnesses like heat exhaustion or heat stroke. So Environment Canada, again, is asking you to check on those people in your life who are at greater risk, including seniors, older adults, and people who are living alone. Take care. Make sure that you are drinking water today. You're putting on your sunscreen. We're already starting to see those temperatures elevating. A lot of places into double digits so far, and it's only 6:12 a.m. 11 degrees in Stony Rapids, 14 degrees in Prince Albert, 10 degrees in Hudson Bay. South End was our cold spot, only sitting at about 5 degrees only about 5 minutes ago. It does seem like temperatures are updating now. We're at 9 degrees in South End, and La Ronge is actually the cold spot now, so they've taken that over at 7 degrees. Down in the south, 16 degrees in Kindersley, 15 degrees in Swift Current, 17 degrees to wake you up in Regina, 16 in Saskatoon, and 15 in Estevan. This does not include a look at our hot spot this hour. That is Maple Creek, already at 22 degrees to start the day. Later on into the afternoon, here is the reason for those heat warnings currently in effect. We're seeing a lot of those highs into the 30s, from the low 30s to the mid 30s. 29 degrees, though, over in Yorkton with that wind today. 32 degrees expected for Prince Albert and the Battlefords. 33 degrees on tap for Saskatoon. 34 degrees for Moose Jaw today and Weyburn as well. So again, the heat is going to be dangerous today. The winds looking fairly similar to what we saw yesterday, so you are going to be feeling those gusts today. Quite a few communities all lighting up in yellow there. Could be seeing them up to about 50 kilometers per hour. And even that spot between Regina and Yorkton there, where we're seeing some red popping up on the screen, could be seeing those wind gusts surpassing 50 kilometers per hour. So just be prepared for that. Not seeing a lot of precipitation in the province today, just a mix of sun and cloud. Up north, though, into the late afternoon and early evening hours. This is at about 9:45, what you're looking at there, though. We are seeing the chance of some rain, the risk of some light thunderstorms there. Into tomorrow afternoon, not seeing a lot, again, in terms of that precipitation. A whole lot of sunshine on the way with that heat continuing on. And by Friday, this is at about 7:15 p.m., we do see some more precipitation popping up on the screen. More so down in the southwest corner, but again, be prepared for that heat to continue on through until Saturday.
The makers of Ozempic are slashing their prices to compete with the generic brand. Danish drug maker Novo Nordisk has announced that some Canadians will be able to buy the brand name Ozempic at a reduced price. It comes as 2 generic versions of Ozempic and Wegovy have started arriving at Canadian pharmacies. The discounts will kick in Friday and will be available to eligible Canadians who don't have public or private coverage.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Well, if your workouts for summer are a bit stale, this one fitness class might take it to the next level, literally. The fitness class, Stadium Stairs, is held at Mosaic Stadium every Tuesday, giving participants an instructor-led workout using the stadium's stairs and ramps. Classes run from 5:30 to 6:15 p.m. every Tuesday until September 1st. A full schedule can be found at regina.ca/drop-in. Would you do it?
Good for these athletes. Did you see that one guy doing crossovers sideways? What a show off. There he is. There they are.
Easy.
There they are. Oh, stairs. Jeremy, I saw where you guys sat last year. You've got season tickets. That's a lot of stairs just to get up there.
I take the ramps, take the elevator.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No worries.
Lots
of options.
That one guy's shoes were untied. That's dangerous. It's a hot day. Let's get to our question of the day.
So we're asking you today, what is... Sorry, do you want to go?
No.
No, please.
No, not at all.
Okay, it's a hot day. We're asking you, what is your favorite cold treat on a hot day? We were going to do ice cream, but then I said Daryl and I were going to fight again about Tiger ice cream.
Of course.
Yeah.
So we're not going to let Daryl answer because we know his answer.
I picked up a bag of freezies for soccer tonight.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my goodness. Those kids are going to be in sweltering heat tonight.
Much better than Tiger ice cream. Jeremy, what's yours?
We're not talking about beverages, right?
No, I think you can if it's your favorite cold treat on a hot day.
That's what you consider a treat?
Yeah, I like a good IPA. I also like a good cold brew, though.
Oh.
So
that'll do it.
Liquefy me.
What are you doing? Are you buying some banana splits tonight or what?
No, my favorite is actually a discontinued flavor of raspberry sherbet that I cannot find anywhere anymore. But I dream of it.
We won't ask viewers to try to find it because if they have it, it's expired. Scan the QR code, cold treats. We're back after this.
The Bank of Montreal topping estimates on better than forecast results at its capital markets unit following a pattern seen with U.S. bank earnings amid elevated markets activity. Other banks reporting today include the Bank of Nova Scotia. It's seen a negative response in New York pre-market trading, even though it posted an earnings beat, supported by growth across all of its business lines, with credit losses edging lower and management saying the bank remains on track to achieve its financial objectives for fiscal 2026, prompting it to increase its dividend. National Bank of Canada beat analysts' expectations in its fiscal second quarter on strength across its major segments, while also setting aside less than anticipated for bad loans. The Montreal-based lender earned $3.23 per share. Calgary, Ottawa, Gatineau, Toronto, and Kelowna drove Canada's progress in diversifying trade in 2025, while others fell behind, says a new report from the Canadian Chamber of Commerce. Calgary saw a 65% increase in exports to non-U.S. markets. The report says the highly integrated manufacturing regions that are affected by the U.S., including Oshawa, London, and Kitchener, Cambridge, Waterloo, are showing some of the clearest signs of trade-related economic stress. Those are your morning business headlines. For BNN Bloomberg, I'm Roger Peterson.
Oh, let's say good morning to Mike Siona, who's gearing up for a big boxing event in our province.
Yes, I certainly am. Thanks very much, Jeremy Dodge. And we are here with Cole Smith and Gary Kopus at Kopus Boxing ahead of Homecoming, which will be on Saturday, June 13th at Prairieland Park right here in Saskatoon. Gary, we start with you. An opportunity now for us to have a pro and an amateur card with 13, I believe, bouts on the title, including 3 big pro ones. Let's start at the end, at the main event.
Well, we got Logan Toontown Terror in the house. He's originally from Saskatoon, fighting out of Vancouver. He's been around since he was 15 years old, and he's ready to make a statement in his hometown in a homecoming and go for that 10-0 in his first 10-round fight.
Pretty cool. I love that. Now, of course, it is a celebration of all things boxing, and the title Homecoming. Cole, you're from Saskatoon. Talk to me about what it's going to be like to step back into a pro ring right here at home.
I think it's going to be fun because I've only fought here once, even in my amateurs, everything. So not many of my family and my friends have actually seen me fight. So a little bit added pressure, sure. But it's going to be fun, and to have that much support is going to be really cool.
Oh, I love that. Now, let's talk about your actual match here, the fight. Tell me about your opponent.
Yeah, he's from Louisiana, Ryan Antle. He has a lot of experience. I think close to 40 fights. So for my first fight, it's not an easy fight, but I think that's what we wanted. We wanted a tougher fight that it's gonna kind of pull what I have out of me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm in there. So I'm excited.
I mean, if it was easy, we'd all be doing it, and there's no chance that I would be doing it. That's for sure. Gary, just give us an overview. How can people get involved? We're going to talk about it all morning long, but where can we go to get tickets, and how grateful are you for the community?
Well, we can get our tickets at copusboxing.ca, right on the link there. And then, it's June 13th. It's a big deal. So get your tickets and get there. And, just want to thank our big sponsors, Headrush, Nasimsuck, and DJ EXL, and Fun Motor Group. For those guys are the big guys that really help financially make this possible. So it takes a lot of work and a lot of money behind this to bring in these professionals and highlight them.
I can only imagine. So there you go. The gauntlet is set, Saskatchewan. It's going to be tremendous. June 13th, right here in the Bridge City. Get out there and enjoy some world-class boxing.
Your school day forecast is brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, a warm start to the day, 17 degrees in Regina and 16 degrees through Saskatoon. By lunchtime in Regina, 29 degrees, warming up to 32 degrees by Final Bell. And by lunchtime in Saskatoon, 28 degrees, warming up to 33 by Final Bell. Winds could be gusting up to 50 kilometers per hour in both cities. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The average price, $179.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $149.9. In Saskatoon, the average price, $174.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $167.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola at $708.75 per ton. The futures price, $746.60 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $295.83 per ton. And the Canadian dollar is down. It's at 72.40 cents US. We'll be right back.
It's now 6:32. We begin with the NDP calling for the Saskatchewan Rate Review Panel to scrap their review of a Sask Power rate increase application and start over. NDP MLA Alina Young says the Rate Review Panel has not been provided with fully transparent and accurate information. The panel is currently accepting input from the public, but the deadline for the input is this Friday. Sask Power has already raised electricity rates by 3.9% on February 1st and wants to increase another 3.9%. This coming next February. The NDP claims there has been political interference in the process and is calling for an independent energy regulator.
Every jurisdiction in Canada has an independent energy regulator. For this reason, they operate like quasi-judicial bodies. They can compel information, and utilities provide very clear information to these panels.
The government says the Saskatchewan Rate Review Panel acts as an independent body that reviews proposed rate increases from Sask Energy, Sask Power, and SGI. The government also says the work of the panel ensures transparency and accountability. A new survey says nearly half of respondents in the prairies would skip a wedding in order to buy a home. Royal LePage says out of about 1,700 adults surveyed across the country, 48% of respondents in Saskatchewan and Manitoba would skip a wedding or scale back to afford a down payment on a home. Of those already married, half of them say they would have significantly scaled back their wedding to put money toward a down payment. One Regina real estate expert says Saskatchewan generally has a seller's market compared to larger cities, adding with limited inventory, younger couples are finding themselves in bidding wars.
They're pushing the wedding date off to a further date, looking at purchasing the home first, and that down payment is the funds that they had saved for their wedding.
The survey found a majority of respondents would rather receive money for a down payment on a home rather than a traditional wedding gift as well. A 20-year-old from Saskatoon is spending her summer in Ukraine volunteering with a humanitarian aid group as the war with Russia continues and attacks across the country intensify. Tasia Rudy arrived in Ukraine earlier this month volunteering with that group. She says she's determined to help wherever needed. One of her first assignments was helping abandoned pets. She's now in Kyiv and keeps a go bag ready in case those air raid sirens go off.
Wherever they need the help, whatever's coming up that week. Things also change, you know, with the war going on. You can't always predict everything that's going to happen. So things are always changing. So you go to where is most needed.
She also hopes others will continue to consider supporting humanitarian efforts through donations or volunteerism. A Saskatoon cat rescue recently received a potential life-saving gift. The Brooder 90 incubator system was recently donated to SOS Prairie Rescue by a resident who adopted a cat from the organization. In addition to helping cats suffering from smoke inhalation exposure, the incubator function on the machine can help some of the smallest and most vulnerable kittens who come through the rescue. The rescue's president says as a volunteer-run group, resources like this go a long way.
So much of the time, the resources are dedicated to going right to the animal care versus having some of these expensive tools. So, you know, it really changes outcomes and supports us. And as caregivers, it makes this easier on us so we can be more effective and help more animals.
Brooder 90 has already proven successful and useful after SOS took in that litter of kittens we told you about yesterday from that apartment fire. The Snowbirds' hometown show in July sold out in record time. As you know, it is the final season for the aging Tudor Jets as they face retirement. The July 11th show will be the last public performance in Saskatchewan before those Jets are replaced sometime in the early 30s. Organizers are warning you to beware of scams if buying resale tickets. They are at a premium. You'll need some cash to buy those tickets. We got one way to get it.
Absolutely, Daryl. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra 20 grand. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is riches. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter riches with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. All right, back to the Weather Center now where we're talking about those persisting heat warnings that have continued on from yesterday. We are seeing the hottest temperatures in the prairies compared to the rest of the country right now. Take a look at all that red color that we're waking up to in southern Saskatchewan this morning. The hot spot in all of the country is in southern Alberta this morning. So again, seeing more of that red color down there. They're sitting at about 23 degrees. The hot spot in Saskatchewan is still Maple Creek, sitting at about 21 degrees. Other than that, though, Saskatoon is at 16 degrees, Regina at 17 degrees. Over in Winnipeg, again, seeing some similar temperatures there. We're at 16 degrees. Cooler through Thunder Bay, 11 degrees, and Ottawa at 17 degrees right now. Montreal, 17 degrees. Halifax, though, cooler, 6 degrees to start the day. Later on into the afternoon hours, seeing some nicer temperatures over on the west coast compared to what we saw yesterday. 22 degrees in Vancouver, 25 in Calgary, 24 in Edmonton. But Saskatchewan really taking the prize when it comes to the heat today. 33 degrees on tap for for Saskatoon, and 32 degrees on tap for Regina. Winnipeg, 29 degrees. As we turn our attention over to the east, we're looking at about 22 degrees in Toronto, 19 degrees for Fredericton, and only about 6 degrees over in St. John's today. Really zoning in on Saskatchewan, though. We talked about the heat in Saskatoon and Regina. That's not exclusive to those two major cities. Seeing the temperatures between the low to mid 30s in a lot of places. Moose Jaw expecting 34 degrees today. Weyburn as well. Estevan about 33 degrees and 29 degrees on tap for Yorkton. You're also seeing that wind icon still. That has continued over from yesterday. We're seeing a lot of places expecting wind gusts up to about 50 kilometers per hour today, so we are prepared for that. We're also prepared for the heat to persist until the end of the week. Tomorrow in Regina, it's only supposed to get hotter, if you can believe it. 34 degrees tomorrow, 33 on Friday. Saturday, we do have a low chance of seeing some very light showers, but we're still seeing that high of 31 degrees. The most of the rain that we're seeing on our radar right now is going to be falling on Sunday. 30 degrees still. Temperatures dropping down on Monday to about 24 degrees and 20 degrees on Tuesday. And again, a low chance of seeing some light sprinkles on those days as well. In Saskatoon, again, we're seeing the heat persisting through until Saturday. Sunday, still seeing that high of 30 degrees, though, and the higher chance of seeing the rain, again, is going to be on Sunday, a lower chance on Monday and Tuesday, but it does still exist.
Summer weather has arrived in Saskatchewan, and farmers are going full blast in the fields. Let's check in with Saskatchewan Agriculture for an update. Now joining me now, Davidson Ugioki. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning, Jeremy. It's nice to have me on. Thanks for having me.
Thank you for coming on. All right, let's where are we? This is, we're a few weeks in now to the official farming season in our province. How are things looking as we kick it off? Are we optimistic so far?
Yeah, well, largely last week, the weather improved tremendously, and we are hoping that with the resilience that Saskatchewan farm growers are known for, things should kick up really fast. Right now, we are 29% seeding completed, and although it's lower than the 5-year and 10-year averages, but we're in a good place right now with last week's good weather. I think things will move ahead tremendously this week.
All right. Any indication of what is being planted so far this year?
The data I'm sharing right now is from last week, and we will have a new set of data sometime before the end of the day. Right now, pulses, which majorly the peas and lentils, at 53% seeding across the province. Durum is at 49%. Triticale and barley are at 34 and 27% seeding right now across the province. And then we have the oil seeds with mustard going forward with at 30%. Canola is still a bit behind, understandably, but with new data coming out this week, I'm pretty sure the numbers are going to change.
Okay, how do we keep track of what is being done to these millions of hectares of farmland in our province? Are you just canvassing producers constantly, or how do we keep track of these numbers?
So we have a large network of crop reporters across the province. All these individuals are volunteers, and so on a weekly basis they go on the field and then they collect data. This data is then transmitted and extracted, pulled on every Wednesday, and then we use that to write the crop report on a weekly basis. This gives a real-time snapshot of what exactly is going on in the province. That helps. It helps producers, it helps input manufacturers, and it helps individuals who plan to buy some of our grains at the end of the year.
Okay. So what are we hoping for this week then? It is hot, very hot out there. Is that a good thing? Can we be happy with these extreme temperatures, or?
It's a mix of both worlds, I would say. Based on the needs of growers, I would say it's a good time. Most growers are on the field seeding right now, and I can assure you that the numbers are going to grow up significantly from 29%.
Okay, there we are. All right. Thank you very much, David Sunugioki from Saskatchewan Agriculture. It's an update of how things are. We appreciate it. Have a great day.
Thanks for having me.
Hello, everyone. Jermaine Franklin in the Sports Center newsroom with your must-see moment from Tuesday. For it, let's head to Korea. We've got an outstanding play in the Korean Baseball League. Jonathan Perlaza coming home, avoids the tag, doesn't seem to have a pathway back to the plate until he makes some Matrix-style moves to stick his hand in. The catcher appeared to have Perlaza in a pickle several times, but the shifty runner gets in safely. They had to review this one, but obviously no evidence of a tag being applied, so Perlaza's improv earns him the must-see moment. And right now on TSN, our Roland Garros coverage continues. Novak Djokovic is playing early in the day, while Alexander Zverev will be in action later. That's all for now from the Sports Center newsroom. Have a great day.
There's lots going on in the community. Janelle Lippi is at Regina's RCMP Heritage Center. What's going on over there these days?
All right, Daryl. Well, two brand new exhibits. We're going to talk all about them here this morning. And Sam has kindly joined me. Sam, thank you so much for being here.
It's great to be here. Thanks for being here, too.
All right. So right beside us here, Mission Afghanistan, one of the new exhibits. Tell me a little bit about it.
Well, we're really excited. This is the first time this exhibit has actually been in Saskatchewan. So we worked with our partners at the Royal United Service Institute of Regina. They helped us bring this exhibit and another exhibit to the Heritage Center. Mission Afghanistan, this exhibit right here is all about Canada's role in Afghanistan. And so it invites people to learn about the really important role that we played in that mission.
All right. And how does it help humanize those people behind the uniforms?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think what's really important, obviously our museum, a big theme of our museum is service and dedication. And this is just another way that we can expand on the ways in which people do offer their service to our country. What's really important is it can be very easy to lose sight that there's a person behind the uniform. And so what this exhibit does, kind of in concert with our other exhibit and in concert with the story we're telling in the exhibits here, is to help people understand that there is a human behind the uniform who is making these choices and really putting themselves and their lives on the line to support and to protect the country.
All right. Really great information. This opened May 25th. When does it run until?
It runs until August 30th, so we'll be here all summer, which is great. If you have guests from out of town, bring them in. We'd love to have you to explore both of these new exhibits.
All right, Sam, thank you so very much. Once again, that is until August. Plenty of time. Come on down this summer because there's a ton of great things to check out.
It's May 27th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Hillary. We hope you have a wonderful day with love from your mom, dad, and grandparents. And also celebrating today is Logan. Happy birthday to you with love from your grandma, grandpa, and all of your family. That's it.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
About the Edwards Ranch. It's the Dutton Ranch now.
Another Yellowstone spin-off strikes gold. The first two episodes of Taylor Sheridan's Dutton Ranch have nearly 13 million views within the first 7 days of release. That's a new record streaming launch for Paramount Plus.
And it feels like medication.
Olivia Rodrigo has dropped the track list for her upcoming third studio album. The Grammy-winning singer posted a photo of the tracks on her Instagram. Her new album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love, is set to be released on June 12th. BTS is teaming up with Oreo for limited edition cookies. They'll have purple wafers and a cream center. They'll taste like hot dog, a brown sugar-stuffed Korean pancake. And happy birthday to rapper Andre 3000 of Outkast, who turns 51 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News.
What's the jackpot at?
It is now at 2,100. I like how you just knew that it didn't go last night. You're like, no one's guessing. Name that sound. So $2,100 is what we're going to be playing for coming up at 7:40 this morning. Maybe you put that towards some AC or getting a colder trip. You know, we do hot holidays. Maybe we want a cold one right now. Sounds like that would be kind of the play. We're also talking about this heat. I want to know who has the hottest job out there, who is just sweating today. Text over 54321. Even if it's not you want to nominate someone, let us know. We'll get them some shout outs, and who knows, maybe stop by with a cool treat later in the day.
Jeremy, what do you got for us today?
All right, a little bit of children intellect. Let's find out just how quickly confidence fades when it comes to kids. Yeah, picked up the bug without any issue, and then it moved.
Right.
Meltdown. Yeah, that's pretty scary stuff, though.
Well, now I have to put up the video of my daughter. I put a ladybug on her a couple days ago, and the giggles are infectious.
And how does she do a bee sound?
She does a bee. I say, Sadie, what does a bee say? And she kind of like goes down into a crouch and goes, bzzz.
Like it's a tiger.
Like it's a little tiger thing. I'm like, I don't even know how she learned to do that. But anyways, the video is really cute.
Aria just says no. A couple of friends competing for a snack are next. Those sort of quackers. They waddle on over and compete for peas. Monica apparently always beats Phoebe. They're named after the friends.
Oh,
and Phoebe.
cute.
Yes.
Okay, I like this one a lot.
Duck, 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 goose.
Cute.
Welcome to Wednesday, May 27th.
Every jurisdiction in Canada has an independent energy regulator.
The NDP calling for the Saskatchewan Rate Review Panel to scrap their review of a Sask Power rate increase application.
It's not fair to the women who have been victimized by this, who are dealing with, I've met some of the victims. It is lifelong trauma.
Advocates rallied outside the Regina Police headquarters demanding for greater justice in relation to multiple privacy breaches.
It's the major shift that has people kind of surprised at just how different this week is compared to the start of May.
And the heat is on in Saskatchewan and across the prairie. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kayleen. Thanks for waking up with us.
And you are going to be feeling hot, hot, hot today.
Yeah, you sure are. We still have heat warnings in effect across the province. Those have persisted over from yesterday. We have a map up here for you. All those areas lighting up in red. It is going to be a hot day, and these temperatures will persist through the weekend. Precipitation on the way for Saturday, Sunday, though.
Yorkton and Wynyard, they're your places to be today.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, Yorkton's still in the high 20s today. Everywhere else, you're expecting temperatures from the low to mid 30s.
If you work outside, good luck. Grab lots of water, grab some sunscreen, and take some breaks. Let's get to your news. We begin with that record heat wave that could be descending upon the prairies, creating dangerous wildfire situations.
You know, when you get temperatures in excess of 30 degrees, and then you add these, 50, 60 kilometer-hour winds, it dries things out really fast.
Environment Canada has issued heat warnings for eastern parts of Alberta, most of southern Saskatchewan, and parts of southwest Manitoba. Not even 2 weeks ago, you might remember, there was snow on the ground, temperatures around freezing. So as you all will say, well, we probably shouldn't complain. Recent moisture, including some rain in Alberta, has slowed the start of wildfire season a bit, but Alberta and Saskatchewan remain under extreme wildfire risk anyway. Canada's Western premiers wrapped up a series of meetings that were overshadowed by Alberta's separation referendum. The two-day gathering ended with a commitment to growing the economy as a united Canada, but the closing news conference, the planned referendum, took center stage. Alberta Premier Danielle Smith tried to explain why her government is appealing a court ruling that tossed out a separatist referendum petition. That sparked friction between premiers.
Issue, I think, in the court is whether that duty to consult should apply to citizen-initiated petitions. And that's where I think that the court erred in judgment.
I think we know that is not correct, a lot of what you just said there, Premier Smith. It is not up to the petition gatherers to fulfill the duty to consult. It is up to you as the Alberta government to fulfill the duty to consult.
Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew is also urging Danielle Smith to pause the separation referendum, which is set for October 19th. All premiers at the meeting agreed that now is the time for unity and certainty in order to get things done for Canadians. As a new Ebola strain ravages Central Africa, Canada is now imposing tighter border control measures just days before the world's biggest sporting event kicks off. Judy Trin reports.
More than 1,000 suspected Ebola cases have been reported in the Democratic Republic of Congo. The outbreak has already killed more than 230 people. It has spread to neighboring Uganda and is putting South Sudan at risk. Less than 2 weeks before Canada is set to host the World Cup, the federal government is imposing tighter border restrictions to stop the virus from getting in.
The health risk to Canadians from Ebola remains low. We are putting forward a precautionary approach.
Officials say each week about 350 people enter Canada from the affected region, most from airports in Toronto and Montreal. Beginning Saturday, they will face additional screening. People who show symptoms will be sent to hospital for assessment. Others will have to self-isolate for 21 days. The quarantine measures take effect May 30th.
This takes a very, very small risk and makes it even smaller.
Immigration applications from the region will also be suspended. The processing of permanent and temporary resident visas, electronic travel authorizations, study and work permits will all be paused 90 days.
We have many people coming for the FIFA games. Luckily, at this point in time, none of these countries affected are playing in Canada.
Federal officials say these measures are imperfect but necessary. There is no vaccine for this strain of Ebola, and it's uncertain what's happening on the ground in Central Africa. 40% of the people who arrive from the DRC, Uganda, and South Sudan every week are foreign nationals, but the majority are Canadian citizens and permanent residents. Judy Trin, CTV News, Ottawa.
Thank you, Judy. Advocates rallied outside the Regina Police headquarters demanding greater justice in relation to multiple privacy breaches. Through an open letter and petition presented to the Regina Board of Police Commissioners, women and allies rallied for an independent review of Regina Police Service following 3 separate cases involving breaches of privacy, trust, and inappropriate communications involving RPS members in the past few years.
It's not fair to the women who have been victimized by this, who are dealing with, I've met some of the victims. It is lifelong trauma.
We've all been notified that these cases need to be taken very seriously and that accessing information for not bona fide reasons will not be tolerated.
The Regina Board of Police Commissioners is focusing on building trust between officers and residents. It is Saskatchewan Mining Week. Jeremy Dodge, over to you.
Thank you very much, Daryl. For the first time in celebration of Mining Week, cameras and journalists were welcomed inside Nutrien's pilot plant. It's a Saskatoon facility where engineers and technicians test new technology and look for ways to make potash operations more efficient, cost-effective, and safe. The facility includes labs, testing areas, and workshops designed to improve the quality of potash used to produce fertilizer for farmers. The company says the work done helps support all 6 of the company's potash mines in Saskatchewan.
So this space gives us the opportunity to de-risk projects. We can run experiments here, we can run mini circuits here without disrupting the operations, which can have real impacts if we shut down production, right? And so this is a safe space to test that kind of stuff and to do those projects.
At 24 to 25 million tons per year, nearly a third of the global share, Saskatchewan is the world's largest producer of potash. With high temperatures in the forecast, the city of Prince Albert has declared a fire ban for all areas north of the river within city limits. It's now in effect. The ban applies to Little Red River Park, Hazeldale, Nordale, and all properties east of Little Red to the city limits. No open fires are allowed, but for cooking and heating, people can use self-contained heaters, gas barbecue, propane fire pits, and charcoal in an approved fire pit. The ban does not affect recreational use of fire pits like the ones at Kinsman Park. South of the river, fires are allowed in accordance with city bylaws. All right, Daryl, a Saskatchewan family is being honored this morning.
That's right. One of Canada's most influential think tanks is honoring a Saskatchewan family. The Fraser Institute is honoring the Semple family for entrepreneurial excellence and community leadership. The Institute's leadership says the Semple family has created thousands of jobs, generated billions in economic impact, and strengthened Canada's position in global industrial markets. The Semple-owned Brandt Tractor has more than 170 locations worldwide, and as you know, they own the Regina Pats, Regina Red Sox, and now a large part of the Real District, which is undergoing renovations. There will be an event to honor the Semple family on June 18th here in Regina. It's the first for the Fraser Institute in Saskatchewan. Congratulations to Sean and his family. Over the offseason, the Saskatchewan Roughriders lost some key names on defense, although one of the players on that team is now coaching on the defensive line.
I've always been a leader in every room, so for me, that's the easy part, that's the natural part.
Micah Johnson was a staple on the D-line for 5 seasons. He has been transitioning seamlessly, they say, but there are a few things he's had to get used to.
The preseason game, you know, he's still got his headphones in, like he's getting hyped still, like, hey, you ain't playing, you know, so, but that's just who he's always been and how he is, and that's how his group's going to be wired.
It's a lot of little things like that I got to break myself of, right, just that energy before games, just like, yeah, you can chill out, right, all you're going to be doing is signaling.
Desmond Evans said he had already taken a sales job in Georgia after trying his hand in the NFL, but the Riders would not stop calling.
Didn't know if I was going to play football or not. Like I told my guy right here. I got a call. It was calling me nonstop, right? And then I just, decided, hey, let me give another shot. I'm only 23 years old. Just another opportunity to play football again. I said the last time I stopped playing football, it was like a deciding, like, I'm going to get a chance to play football again or not.
Oh, looking forward to some more Rider football. Today, we're staying in the shade if we can.
Yeah, take frequent breaks inside because the heat has persisted over from yesterday. It's a nice, bright and sunny start to the day in Regina, though, but we're already at 18 degrees. If you do want to get outside, spend some time out there today. The morning is probably your best shot before we're reaching that high of about 32 degrees later on in the afternoon. Right now, though, we do have some elevated winds currently coming in right around 40 kilometers per hour. Could be seeing them gusting up to about 50 kilometers per hour later on in the day. In Saskatoon, we are seeing more of that cloud cover, and that trend is going to continue on through the afternoon hours. It is 17 degrees, though. Winds currently coming in at 35 kilometers per hour. Also going to be seeing those wind gusts later on this afternoon. Radar and satellite showing a little bit of that storm activity that we saw down south yesterday evening, just east of Swift Current there, and also just south. By the time it reached Swift Current, it was mostly just a little bit of rain. It was kind of unpredictable yesterday. Today, though, we're not really expecting a lot of that precipitation down south. You do see just a few little blips there right beside Swift Current. Other than that, though, We're looking towards the north for most of that precipitation. Could be starting with some storm activity earlier on in the afternoon and then just some rain into those overnight hours. By the time that we're reaching tomorrow afternoon, this is at about 4:15 p.m. Again, we're not really seeing a lot in terms of precipitation. It's more so as we look towards the weekend, we see more of that rain popping up, starting right along that border with Alberta there and continuing on through Saturday and Sunday. Sunday is actually the day we're expecting most of that precipitation to be falling in the province for the 7-day forecast here. In terms of temperatures today, though, you can really see why we have those heat warnings currently in effect. And again, this heat can be dangerous. You're going to want to be taking a lot of those steps today to protect yourself and check in on loved ones, especially ones at greater risk, including seniors and those who live alone. 32 degrees for Prince Albert, 32 degrees in the Battlefords, 33 for Saskatoon, 32 degrees in Regina today, 34 in Moose Jaw, and 34 degrees as well in Weyburn. You do see those wind icons more so down south, though. And again, we're talking about wind gusts up to about 50 kilometers per hour in quite a few places in the province. A lot of yellow on your screen, but we're also seeing a few spots of red indicating where we're seeing the strongest wind gusts, and that's right between Regina to Yorkton today. So although we are seeing that extreme heat today, you are also going to be feeling some strong wind gusts this afternoon. Time now for a look at our rural forecast, and we still have those heat warnings in effect in many places across the province, excluding Wynyard, though, reaching that high of 29 degrees today. Other than that, though, a lot of those highs exceeding 30 degrees. Down in the south, more of the same. We're seeing highs of 33 degrees in Maple Creek, 34 for Assiniboia, and 32 degrees for Pilot Butte, 31 degrees in Carlisle. You're also seeing a lot of those wind icons on your screen. Could be seeing gusts up to about 50 kilometers per hour in many places, including in Buchanan, where internet plans up to 1 gig are available from SaskTel. 28 degrees, mainly sunny this afternoon with those wind gusts.
June 13th. Homecoming invades Prairie Land Park in Saskatoon, and our Mike Siona's is getting set for it this morning. Mike, why is this such a big deal?
I'll tell you why, because there's a world title on the line for the first time ever on Saskatchewan soil, or so I'm told. I'm joined by the one and only Cole Smith and the one and only Gary Kopas. Gary, talk to me about this. A world title in Saskatchewan?
Yeah, we're making history, guys. This is the first world title ever in Saskatchewan. We got Alexis Kubicki coming in, and she's going for the WBA title. You know, in the past, I won an international title. That's the biggest thing that's happened in Saskatchewan. We're breaking the rules here and going for the big one. In our first Pro-Am, we're having a world title fight on the show, so it's super exciting.
I love that. Now, this here is the action. That's your international championship right here. And we get a cool little selection here as we've been hanging out this morning at the Kopas Boxing Gym of all of that. What does it mean for you, Cole? You're not in the title realm here. Your first ever pro match, but how cool is it to be on the same card?
It's actually wild to see how big this is, and it to be my first fight. It's a pretty cool opportunity.
I love that. Now, how does training, is it different from the amateur ranks? You've had 16 bouts in amateur. Now, this first professional one, does it change at all?
I mean, for the most part, it is the same. Just like definitely more intensity. For amateur, it's like you just have to be ready always, so you kind of stay in this shape. For pro, it's like you just got to up it, you know, a full training camp, real training partners, like sparring partners, people my size, and just bringing those guys in. So it's a little bit more intense.
Yeah. Very cool. Looking forward to seeing you in the ring, and obviously Alexis, pretty cool actually when you think about it. She fights out of Edmonton, but coming in to Saskatoon with a world championship on the line.
Yeah, it's super exciting. You know, her opponent, Maria Macheo, she's top in the world. Last month, she fought at Madison Square Gardens. That's every boxer's dream, right? And she's coming to Saskatoon next month, right? So it's huge. We're making history here in Saskatchewan, and it's only going to grow from here. So it's exciting.
Absolutely love it. From MSG to Prairieland Park, we are a destination when it comes to world-class boxing. You can get tickets for this event, homecoming June 13th at copusboxing.ca.
All right, this is one of my favorite stories on the year. One is the wife carrying competition through the obstacle course. The other is this, the eagerly awaited cheese rolling competition. You run down the steep hill. Danny New has the costumes and the risks and rewards.
On Monday, travelers from all over the world once again tumbled down a famous British hill in the name of cheese. Doesn't that look fun? For the record, this once-a-year tradition goes back hundreds of years, with people gathering at notoriously steep Cooper's Hill in Gloucestershire to compete for a wheel of double Gloucester cheese. But did they have a guy in a Spider-Man costume 200 years ago, or a man in that? Actually, the biggest difference this time was probably the weather. With temperatures around 95 degrees Fahrenheit, this year's race happened to fall on the hottest May day on record in UK history.
Any injuries? I'm perfectly fine. I'm just very hot in this suit.
Well, the extra insulation did not stop German YouTuber Tom Kopka from winning for the third straight year. You can see him come from behind here to defeat Cooper's Hill legend Chris Anderson, who has a Guinness World Record 23 cheese wheel wins.
I just remember seeing Chris Anderson in front of me. I was like, I need to go faster, and then I sent it the rest of the hill down.
And hey, it seems like, despite the heat, the 7-pound cheese wheel managed to hold off from turning into fondue. Meanwhile, in the women's races, we saw a wide range of protective gear, from this woman who appears to be wearing bubble wrap to this contestant who wore a leaf on her head. However, the craftiest idea may have come from the winner, whom you see here rolling down the hill in a mouse onesie.
Celebrate, yes, lovely.
Alex from France told the BBC afterward that she actually was wearing elbow and knee pads underneath her chosen uniform. By the way, the 23-time champ, Chris Anderson, who lost, still a successful day for him because his 11-year-old son, William, actually won the first ever kids race, which, for the record, was an uphill race. Thank God. In New York, for ABC News, I'm Danny New.
Glad those kids are running uphill.
Yeah.
Jeremy, would you do it? I know Kayleen wouldn't.
No, I think I would.
I would for sure. I would like to know, is that cheese really good, or
apparently
is it just the thrill of the pursuit?
It's worth risking life and limb over, apparently.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me mad to watch the video because everybody's just flailing all over the place.
I love the costumes. I love the little legs.
Yeah. It's probably one of those things that looks like I could do it,
Yeah.
but then when I actually would try it, I'd be like, oh, I actually can't do it.
Yeah, for sure.
I have no illusions about my capabilities, but I'd still give it a shot.
Broken legs and limbs. Our question of the day, it is going to be hot out there. It's already hot out there. Maple Creek, you said, was already, 22 degrees
22,
or something
yeah.
like that. So what is your favorite cold treat on a hot day? Let's see what the viewers say.
Yeah, so we had Cam saying, I love a glass of Coke with ice.
A little promo there.
Yeah. Jules
Good
saying
one.
ice cold apple cider. I feel like that's a fall treat for me.
Oh,
but
Kevin, there you found my burner account. I'm going by Kevin R now.
Kevin is going for the
Yay.
Tiger ice cream. There's some more love for Tiger ice cream later on. Paul is saying favorite treat on a hot day is iced coffee.
Yep,
that's a good one. I do like a good iced coffee. We had Michelle B saying, I love to eat popsicles on a hot day. The root beer ones are the best.
I got my first Slurpee brain freeze yesterday.
Oh, did you? I haven't had a Slurpee this year.
I haven't had one in years. But
when I was pregnant,
Slurpees
I was all
That
about
was the thing.
Slurpees.
That
Yeah,
was the thing. Okay.
all about
It's
it.
year round.
Gary in Regina saying he's got to go to Milky Way. He's got to get that large strawberry milkshake. It always hits the spot. We had Donna from Yorkton saying just a nice cold cup of water.
Donna's got to figure it out.
Yeah, Debbie saying it's got to be an iced cappuccino. She's found a recipe. Send that along, Debbie. I want a homemade iced cappuccino.
Just dropping by for the girls here at the office.
Yeah, we'd love one. Tracy saying iced coffee or a root beer float. And Sheldon saying Tiger ice cream, chocolate mint ice cream, and iced coffee, and all those different kinds of cold pops on the hot day. We want to hear from you. Text your name and your answer to 10400. Standard message rates may apply. by or scan that QR code on your screen. It's hot out there. What are you enjoying today?
It's a question of marriage versus mortgage. As costs rise, some couples are saying I do to smaller weddings in order to buy a home. For those currently planning their big day in Saskatoon, it's a decision they know all too well.
We are thinking of a smaller wedding, like max 100 people, or just eloping, just because we actually don't own a house yet and things are expensive out there, especially in the wedding industry.
We already own a house, luckily. We lived with our parents for a long time, but I definitely understand why people are choosing to do a smaller wedding because it's crazy expensive.
One Saskatoon officiant says he's seeing more elopements, with couples focusing on everyday costs rather than large ceremonies.
I have a lot more couples just come to my house and we sign on the kitchen table and then they're going off to a destination or they'll get around to doing a wedding. But right now they're more focused on, the day-to-day stuff.
Wedding planning platform Your Wedding Atlas estimates the average cost of a wedding in the Prairie region ranges between $25,000 and $30,000. After surveying about 1,700 adults across the country, Royal LePage says about 48% of respondents in Saskatchewan and Manitoba said they would skip a wedding or scale back their plans to afford a down payment on a home. One Regina real estate agent says it's a trend she's noticing too.
They're pushing the wedding date off to a further date, looking at purchasing the home first.
Leah Graham says limited housing inventory and changing priorities are playing a role.
Traditionally, you start off small and you get a condo or you would get a small home that needs repairs.
Graham says with renovation and repair costs adding up, many buyers now see more value in a home they can stay in long term. For some couples, that means putting home ownership ahead of a big wedding. Stacey Hine, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, time for your morning mystery. We've got our chalkboards ready. We are ready to go. It is apparently today an animal. We're going to find out how well we know our animals. Clue number one, their scientific name is Glaucomys sabrinus.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to help us a lot.
Yeah.
Unlike their more common cousins, these animals hide away during the day and are active just before sunset. Waiting for that picture to clarify a little in the background.
Yeah,
Despite their name, they are incapable of true flight, but are able to glide distances of 20 meters or more.
Oh.
Is that I feel like a bird is a trick question.
I can only think of one thing that
glides
kind of might qualify.
I don't know.
The last one.
This is really messy printing, but we'll have to deal with it.
The picture, I don't know. I'm going to guess. What are you writing the same thing I'm writing?
I don't know. What are you writing?
I'm writing flying squirrel.
I wrote flying squirrel.
You wrote flying squirrel?
Yeah.
Okay, is it? Northern flying squirrel.
I think we still all get that.
Still counts.
Yeah.
All right. Judges say we get it right.
We win.
So it's today's morning mystery.
Studio consideration provided by Father's Furniture, specializing in quality Canadian-made furniture.
Here's a look at your school day forecast. It's brought to you by CAA School Safety Patrol, working together to keep our school zone safe. If you're heading out to catch the bus in Regina, we're at 18 degrees, 17 degrees through Saskatoon. Winds are lower to start the day, but they are going to be going up by the afternoon. 29 degrees by lunch in Regina, 28 degrees by lunch in Saskatoon. And by final bell, Regina sitting at 32 degrees, Saskatoon just above that 33 degrees. As we go to break, here's a look at those gas prices in Regina. The average price is $1.79.9. You might be able to find it for as low as $1.49.9. In Saskatoon, the average price $1.74.9, and you might be able to find it for as low as $1.67.9. In the farm markets today, we find the street price of canola at $708.75 per ton. The futures price $746.60 per ton. Amber Durum wheat now at $278.59 per ton, and red spring wheat at $295.83 per ton. The Canadian dollar is down. It's now at 72.40 cents US. Stay with us.
Say welcome back. It is 7:32. The heat wave has officially arrived here in Saskatchewan 9 days after snow fell across southern and central Saskatchewan. We were all saying, wow, I wish it would warm up out there. Saskatchewan temperatures are nearly 30 degrees higher in some places, with forecasters calling for daytime highs between 30 and 36. Kayleen will get into that in just a moment. Environment and Climate Change Canada has issued heat warnings from Cold Lake in the northeast all the way to Estevan in the southeast. Temperatures are at least 10 degrees above seasonal norms right now.
It's the major shift that has people kind of surprised at just how different this week is compared to the start of May.
Wave will peak, they're telling us, Thursday and Friday, with Environment Canada expecting to add more areas in the eastern part of the province to the heat warning as that heat progressive again. Kayleen will get into that in just a moment. NDP is calling for the Saskatchewan Rate Review Panel to scrap their review of the Sask Power rate increase application and start over. NDP MLA Elena Young says the rate review panel has not been provided with fully transparent and accurate information. Panel is currently accepting input from the public, but the deadline for that is Friday. Sask Power has already raised your rates on electricity by 3.9% on February 1st, wants to do it again next February. The NDP claims there's been political interference in the process.
Every jurisdiction in Canada has an independent energy regulator. For this reason, they operate like quasi-judicial bodies. They can compel information, and utilities provide very clear information to these panels.
The government says the Saskatchewan Rate Review Panel acts as an independent body that reviews proposed rate increases for Sask Energy, Sask Power, and SGI. Government also says the work of the panel ensures transparency and accountability. In Washington, President Donald Trump is set to host a cabinet meeting today as pressure continues to build for a resolution to the ongoing war with Iran. This comes as the ceasefire is being put to the test after Iranian forces threatened retaliation over U.S. strikes near the Strait of Hormuz. Trump is facing growing pressure to secure a deal that would end the conflict and reopen the strait. Now to NASA unveiling new details about its plan to build a permanent base on the surface of the moon. Here's Gio Benitez.
Just over a month after Artemis II reignited America's journey of space exploration and inspired millions with those incredible images from the far side of the moon, this morning NASA is ramping up its mission to build a permanent settlement on the lunar surface and sharing new details about its plans.
The grand return is close at hand, and we will not slow down, and we are really just getting started.
The $20 billion plan is being called Moonbase, and it'll be built out in 3 phases over the next 7 years. In phase 1, they'll build, test, and learn, largely using robotics, with the first 3 missions that could launch by the end of this year, and potentially 2 crewed missions to the surface in 2028. Phase 2 will start to establish early infrastructure and will include semi-annual crewed missions. And phase 3, continuing to learn how to live and work there on a permanent basis with habitats, all meant to be the first foothold to exploring the cosmos.
With Moonbase, Artemis astronauts will stay longer, understanding how humans operate off-world, how we build infrastructure, and how we prepare for Mars.
We're also getting a look at some of the new lunar vehicles, which will take astronauts to areas never before explored from the ground. They'll also use lunar drones to help identify potential future landing sites.
We go for the technology we will pioneer to get there, the science and all that we will learn that will make life better here on Earth.
All right, I don't know the temperature on the moon, but I know here on Earth it is hot, 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 at least in the prairies.
It certainly is. Yeah, Saskatchewan's hotspot is still Maple Creek. But before we get to that, let's talk about a contest. Wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is riches. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter riches with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. All right, as we were saying, hotspot in Saskatchewan, Maple Creek just below Canada's hotspot, and that is in Irvine, just across the border into Alberta this morning. Now, we still have a lot of places, as expected, with those heat warnings still in effect. We're getting a bit of a break from those heat warnings right around Yorkton there in the Parkland region and then up through Wynyard there. Other than that, though, if you're waking up with us from Hudson Bay, Prince Albert, North Battleford, and all those areas down south, still seeing those heat warnings with highs expected to be surpassing 30 degrees and overnight temperatures to be in the mid-teens to high teens. Current temperatures out there right now, though, we're seeing 13 degrees in Stony Rapids, 13 degrees in La Ronge, 15 in Nipawin and Prince Albert, 16 degrees to wake you up in Spiritwood down in the south, 16 degrees as well for Swift Current, 17 degrees in Assiniboia, and 18 degrees to wake you up in Regina and Weyburn, 17 degrees in Saskatoon. Today's forecast, as we mentioned, with those highs surpassing 30 degrees, 32 for Prince Albert and the Battlefords, 33 in Yorkton, 34 degrees this afternoon in Moose Jaw and Weyburn, and 32 in Regina. So again, these temperatures can be harmful. Know the symptoms of heat exhaustion versus heat stroke. Know that heat stroke is a medical emergency, and Environment Canada is warning you if you have any of those symptoms, you have to dial 911. The heat is also going to be persisting for the coming days. 34 tomorrow in Regina, 33 on Friday, 31 degrees by Saturday in Regina. Now, we do have a chance of seeing some light showers on that day. The chance of seeing the rain actually goes up by quite a bit on Sunday for many places in the province. 30 degrees, though, with that rain, dropping down to 24 on Monday and 20 degrees on Tuesday. The chance of rain does go down on Monday and Tuesday, but it does still exist. In Saskatoon, we're talking about more of the same, but take a look at tomorrow's temperature. 36 degrees is what we're expecting. Again, that heat is dangerous. Check on your loved ones, especially seniors and those who live alone. 33 rather on Friday, 28 degrees on Saturday. Again, the chance of rain sitting at about 40% on Saturday, but jumping to 70% on Sunday. 30 degrees with that rain, 22 degrees on Monday. Again, the chance of rain going down, sitting about 40%, carrying us into Tuesday, dropping down to 14 degrees. So a break from the heat is in the forecast.
Economic Development Regina has launched a new talent attraction campaign asking you to break up with your city. Carly McCoo is with EDR, joins me in studio this morning. Thanks so much for doing this.
Yes, happy to be here.
This is a fun, little bit of cheeky campaign asking people starting in Halifax to break up with their city and consider here. Why?
Yeah, so, the campaign kind of got started with an idea that we had to be a little bit bold. We had to do something a little bit fun, and what's bolder than asking people to break up with their city. But this came from very real insights that people are reconsidering the way that they're living and, quality of life and affordability. So we wanted to position as Regina as a place as a solution for them.
Why are we starting with Halifax?
Yeah, Halifax has gotten a little bit more of the attention, but we actually are talking to a couple other cities currently as well. So we are in Calgary, Halifax, Vancouver, and Toronto.
What about those cities makes you think that those people living in those areas would like to come here to Saskatchewan?
Yeah, I know, going off of Halifax, it's funny because Halifax actually has very similar people to us. They're very friendly. They focus on quality of life. And then in those other cities, it was kinds of things where, maybe affordability is a problem, or maybe
too busy, too much traffic.
Yes, or maybe lifestyle is a problem where you want to buy a house but have a cabin, and traffic is a problem. So really it was doing research in all those different cities and really having a hard focus on the why as to we're targeting those types of people.
What should a potential employee know about Regina and coming to work here?
Yeah, it's right now we are facing a skilled labor gap as our jurisdictions across Canada, but we have a great ability here of you can have a combination of affordability, quality of life, and build a career, but not miss out on those other things. So I would say quality of life is the biggest thing that we focus on.
So the obvious question here is, what is talent attraction? It's got to be more than putting up a few posters or social media ads and saying come.
Yeah, it is definitely way bigger than that. This is just kind of a fun thing we get to do on the side, but talent attraction really is bringing those skilled people into the community to grow our economy and to also grow our community and have people here and be able to do more things and bring more things here. So in a nutshell, yeah.
How do you measure success off something like that?
Yeah, one major way we measure success is through our concierge service. So we have someone live in the office who is able to answer questions from people who are considering that move. Anything from quality of life questions, school questions, housing questions, careers. And I think right now we've had over 55 reach outs. So we measure that as a huge success. And also, you know, if people at the end of the day see this and they get a good chuckle, or, you know, they're interacting with it and they see it and maybe think, maybe that's an option for me, then I think that's success in our books.
Sell me on Regina. I already live here, but sell me on it.
Yeah. Well, like I said, we have very friendly people. We have a lot to offer. I think sometimes we can be a little prideful, but we should be able to brag a little bit. And our quality of life and affordability allows people to have $18,000 more in their pockets a year than another major Canadian cities. So if you're interested, we'd love to hear from you. And yeah.
How competitive is the market? Because you're up against other cities, Saskatoon, one of them, with all the bridges and the lakes and the rivers.
Yes, of course, and that's, you know, that's always something you have to factor in. But you can't control what you don't have, and so we just focus on the things that we do have, and that's great people, that's affordability, that's careers, and I think that's a major win for Regina, and it's a great place to be.
Professional football as well.
We have professional football, and we take that as a major win.
We do take that as a major win.
Yeah.
If people want more information, they want to maybe forward this to one of their family members living in Nova Scotia, how do they do it?
Yeah, you can go to liveinregina.com.
All right, our economic development, regina.com as well, for everything that they do over there. Carly, thank you so much for a couple of minutes today.
Thank you for having me.
Here's what's happening in our community. TEDx Regina 2026 Once Upon Our Future is on May 29th, 2 p.m. at Dark Hall. Call 306-999-6062. The Collectibles Show is on May 30th, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. at the Northgate Mall. Email sportsworld@sasktel.net. On May 30th and 31st, find the Crocus and Artisan Sale at the Pilot Butte Arena starting at 10 a.m. Learn more at pilotbuttearts.ca. And Jazz Fest Regina Frog Back and Soul Deep. The fundraiser is happening June 11th at 7 p.m. at Revival Music Room. Information is on connexusartcenter.ca. Submit your event to our community by visiting our website, ctvregina.ca or ctvsaskatoon.ca. Click Community Calendar or scan the QR code on your screen.
Let's check back in now with Janelle Lippi at the RCMP Heritage Center following opening day. You've got 2 new compelling exhibits, Janelle.
Yeah, Jeremy, good morning. Behind us, we've got the second exhibit. This is Who Wears the Uniform? Sam is back with me. Sam, tell me a little bit about this exhibit in particular.
Yeah, so this is Who Wears the Uniform? It was created by the Royal Services Institute of Regina. And it is, Royal United Services Institute of Regina. It is all about Saskatchewan stories of service. And so what you'll see are stories in French and English, as well as some artifacts, personal items from the folks who actually served.
All right, it's beautifully laid out. You can tell how much thought has gone into it. This was not a solo project. Who else was a part of this?
Yeah, so this was created by Russi Regina and generously funded through support through the Commissioner of South Saskatchewan, the Legion Saskatchewan Command, and Lumsden Legion 234.
All right, so what is the biggest takeaway from this exhibit?
Very similar to Mission in Afghanistan and a lot of the themes and stories we explore in the museum here is that, you know, these are people. These are people who have families and who have committed their lives to service and to protecting and serving their communities. And I think it's really important that we're telling contemporary stories about that service. And so that's what this exhibit does. It really tells contemporary stories of folks who have dedicated their lives to serving their communities.
Incredibly important information, Sam. Once more for viewers who might just be tuning in, when does this run until?
So Who Wears the Uniform and Mission Afghanistan run at the Heritage Center until August 30th.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Once again, these beautiful exhibits are available for you to come check out until August. Great summer activity.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. We'll check back in with you in a little while.
It's May 27th, and we have these milestones to share with you. We'll start off with a big happy birthday going out to Hillary. We hope you have a wonderful day with love from your mom, dad, and grandparents. And also celebrating today is Logan. Happy birthday to you with love from your grandma, grandpa, and all your family.
Milestones, brought to you by Harbor Landing Village, an award-winning senior care and living community in Regina.
If you have a milestone coming up, send us an email to yourmorningsaskatchewan@ctv.ca or simply scan that QR code on your screen. Please send those in at least one day in advance.
Hey, what was the latest incorrect guess in your contest?
So we were talking to Stephanie. She's actually a school bus driver, so she pulled over the bus full of students as well. She promised that she was going to buy them some ice cream if she got named that sound. So not only did we get to disappoint Stephanie when we told her it was the wrong guess, we also got to disappoint an entire bus full of students. So that's a great start for them and us in the day. She thought it was kicking over or pushing over one of those plastic step stools. Not it. Another $50 into the pot, so we're at $2,150. 4:40 this afternoon will be your next chance to play with Brandon. Coming up after 8 o'clock, we got your Country Minute. Riley Green giving us some brand new music coming up tomorrow, so we got a little sneak peek of that. He, of course, one of our Country Thunder headliners, and they're doing something special for upgrading your tickets over the weekend here, too, that we'll tell you all about.
That you can go and sing some Creed power ballads with me and JC Garden.
I've been practicing that since I've been about 9 years old, so I'm waiting for this moment.
I know Brandon Hall's going to upstage
with arms wide open.
All of us. We'll see you later.
Yes. We'll have a Creed off.
This is what sort of gave us the idea to really dig into our archives.
Star Trek Secrets Revealed. The documentary series Inside the Roddenberry Archive features a treasure trove of rare items, including the long-lost original Starship Enterprise model. The show is set to stream on the Beam by Roddenberry YouTube channel.
We must face the facts! The facts! However frightening they may be!
Andrew Scott's meteorologist faces off with Brendan Fraser's General Eisenhower over the forecast for D-Day in Pressure.
One of the things that I think they share is a sense of humility, a sense of duty, and a sense that, I want to do the right thing.
Pressure opens in theaters Friday.
The weather is unstable.
We're limited in how we can train.
You talk about the traveling. Greenland is bigger than Europe.
Weather also plays a major role in No Place for Football. The documentary looks at a Greenland club facing the world's shortest football season as they strive to win a championship for their community and keep playing the sport they love. No Place for Football debuts Friday on digital platforms. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
The competition is fierce in our first sidebar. I just watched this all day. This is a pair of ducks named after the show Friends. So I don't know which one is Monica and which one is Phoebe, but they are absolutely competing for those peas.
We need a Rachel.
That's Monica on the right.
Is it?
They said Monica always wins the race to the bowl. So there you go.
Okay.
That'll do it.
This is kind of like some animal ASMR that you could just listen to this. You could go to sleep listening to ducks.
The sound is great.
Rachel would be there, but she was on a break.
Oh, that was really good.
You're welcome.
That was really
You're welcome. Jeremy, over to you.
All right, we've got an example of just how quickly confidence can fade when you're a child.
Oh no!
Well, I picked the bug up real quick, and then it moved, and then it jumped, and that was meltdown time.
Yeah, if it's not a ladybug, it's not for my kids.
Yeah, also, what is that? Because it looks like it has a stinger.
And what kind of stick bug is it?
I think
is that
it's
a grasshopper?
I don't think that's a stick bug, Daryl.
Is it a stick bug?
Yeah.
I just love stick bugs. Especially when they dance. All right, one time.
All right, now to a tried and true test to see if your toddler is sleeping.
He's asleep.
Yeah, I think they're asleep.
Yep, totally asleep. Not listening at all.
Oh, interesting.
So this dad, I've seen this video a couple times. He says, okay, well, Mom, you know, the true test, if they're sleeping, you put their arms up, they'll stay up. But if they're awake, their arms will fall. So obviously, cheaters.
Yeah.
They awake.
Yeah.
They awake. And then
Fakers.
Second arms go up. I'm asleep too, Dad. Time out. We're back after this. It's Wednesday, May 27th.
It's the major shift that has people kind of surprised at just how different this week is compared to the start of May.
The heat wave has arrived here in Saskatchewan.
Prime Minister, Mr. Guilbeault, has he told you about his future, sir?
I'm a good friend of Stephen. I've worked a lot to bring him in politics, and he will always be a good friend.
I ask you about the 14th.
Former Cabinet Minister Stephen Guilbeault is set to resign as a member of Parliament today.
I've always been a leader in every room, so for me, that's the easy part, that's the natural part.
A new coach on the line at Rider Camps. Stay with us, Saskatchewan. Your morning starts right now. Welcome to Your Morning Saskatchewan on a very hot day. I'm Daryl.
And I'm Kaylee, and good morning and happy Wednesday.
Just how hot is it?
Very hot. Hot enough to have heat warnings in effect in a lot of communities, about 260 to be exact in Saskatchewan.
Okay, well, let Keenan Sorokon tell us a little bit about the heat and how you guys are dealing with it out there, and then we'll get to your forecast. Here's Keenan Sorokon.
It seems like we've gone from winter to summer.
From slush to sweat, the snow is gone and the heat wave is here in Saskatchewan.
We have had heat waves into the 30s in May, but it's really that extreme difference between snow to extreme warmth.
9 days ago, many people in southern and central Saskatchewan watched snow fall to the ground, with temperatures hovering around the freezing mark. Now, many places will see highs of 30 for much of the week, with some areas expected to see close to 40 degrees by Thursday and Friday.
So, yeah, we are expecting potentially to expand those heat warnings as the week progresses.
Not only is this surge of heat unusually early, it's the warm temperatures hanging around in the evening that's concerning emergency preparedness organizations.
When it's staying at like plus 15 overnight, is just locations aren't having a chance to cool. The air temperature's not having a chance to cool. So that heat just feels even more oppressive. It's more impactful. And so that's why we're really concerned.
First responders say seniors living in condos and apartments without air conditioning are most at risk.
If you have relatives or friends or neighbors who are living in those kind of conditions, reach out and check on them.
The heat warning is in effect from Estevan all the way to Meadow Lake. Temperatures this week are at least 10 degrees higher than seasonal norms for this time of year. And while these could be the hottest days of the year, Desjardins says El Nino conditions arriving in the next month or two could mean more days like this across Saskatchewan.
I wouldn't discount that it could happen again this summer.
Keenan Sorokon, CTV News, Saskatoon.
And some breaking news from Ottawa this morning. The federal government is entering into contract negotiations with Saab to buy a fleet of surveillance aircraft for the Royal Canadian Air Force. Saab is a Swedish aerospace and defense company. The Global Eye jets will help protect Canada against threats.
The Global Eye's airborne surveillance capability can track objects and signals up to 650 kilometers away. And they'll share in real time that information with the Canadian forces and our allies. At the heart of the Global Eyes system is the Canadian-made Bombardier Global 6500, an aircraft that includes 20% U.S. content, which gives a sense of just how integrated these defense systems are. Saab and Bombardier's expertise is transforming a modern jet into a cutting-edge surveillance aircraft with altitudes of over 30,000 feet.
The Global Eye combines airborne early warning and control with long-range air, sea, and land surveillance in real time from a single platform. He also describes it as an advanced, available, and operational one-of-a-kind. The debate over Alberta separatism intensified yesterday. Rob Buffum with what unfolded.
It was a gift from Premier Eby, sure, but also a cagey move, forcing Danielle Smith to don a Canada FIFA jersey for the cameras after she recently greenlit a referendum on separation in her province.
I remain incredibly anxious, frankly, about this. I've seen the Brexit referendum that was just supposed to be a chance for people to express the clarity that they wanted to stay part of the EU, and it did not end up that way.
It was the latest volley in the escalating war of words and gestures between the BC and Alberta leaders, adding to the ongoing dispute over a proposed pipeline to BC's coast.
I disagree profoundly with Premier Smith's referendum. I think it is a huge mistake. And Premier Smith disagrees with me profoundly about issues related to a pipeline to the North Coast and the North Coast tanker ban.
The Western premiers addressed a range of topics during the two-day conference, including Arctic sovereignty, economic growth, the Tumbler Ridge tragedy, and wildfires. But Alberta's separation loomed large over it all.
We have to address the legitimate grievances that have come from 10 years of economic attack on our province.
In a dramatic moment, Manitoba Premier Wab Kinew jumped into the fray, forcefully calling on Smith to delay the fall referendum and challenging her interpretation of the constitutional duty to consult First Nations.
I think we know that is not correct, a lot of what you just said there, Premier Smith. Now is the time to work together. Why don't we hold off on this referendum talk for a year or two and see if we get these pipelines under construction?
Everyone at the table worked to put forward a united front to identify the things that they can agree on, and yet how quickly cracks started to show in the facade between the different premiers.
As Canada's Western premiers put on their photo-ready faces and the appearances of a united team, despite growing tensions boiling just below the surface.
Robert Buffum, CTV News.
Well, Jeremy, it's Saskatchewan Mining Week. They're showcasing the provincial impact.
Yeah, a big impact, of course. And on Tuesday, Nutrien gave journalists, the media, a look inside their pilot plant at the University of Saskatchewan. That's where the company is looking to make potash mining more efficient. Laura Woodward takes us inside.
And our screens here have 2 decks.
This is the Nutrien pilot plant, a Saskatoon facility where engineers test new ways to make potash production more efficient, safe, and cost-effective. The work done here aims to improve the quality of potash used to make fertilizer for farmers.
So this space gives us the opportunity to de-risk projects. We can run experiments here, we can run mini circuits here without disrupting the operations, which can have real impacts if we shut down production, right? And so this is a safe space to test that kind of stuff and to do those projects.
The facility includes labs, testing areas, and workshops.
It's really cool and unique that there's a mini scale mill in here, and you can do so many cool, innovative things with it.
One of the most important areas is the flotation cell, where potassium chloride is separated from the rest of the mined material to create potash fertilizer. New control settings and technology can be tested here before they're introduced at Nutrien's 6 Saskatchewan mines. The pilot plant played a major role during mine expansions in 2010, refining new equipment before it went into operation.
And we brought them here, optimized the design over the course of 6 months to a year, and worked with our vendors, and we were able to install something back at the sites before they needed them to actually start producing potash.
And as technology evolves, so does the search for the next big improvement in potash production.
You know, there's still so much to learn and so much to discover. So I think it's exciting to be a part of that possibility.
Laura Woodward, CTV News, Saskatoon.
All right, Daryl, back to you with an update on the search for accountability from Regina Police.
Yeah, they feel trust has been lost to this group we're about to meet. Sierra D'Souza Butts on their calls and the RPS Board of Police Commissioners' reply.
Women and allies demanding for greater justice and police accountability.
It's not fair to the women who have been victimized by this.
who are dealing with, I've met some of the victims. It is lifelong trauma.
In connection to 3 separate cases of breaches of trust and privacy by Regina police members in recent years, a group of advocates presented an open letter and petition to the Board of Police Commissioners calling for an independent review of the Regina Police Service.
They'll never be the same again. As the one victim said, she'll never feel safe in this community again.
These are serious offenses where people are being victimized by the Regina Police Service members. This is not to cast judgment on all RPS officers.
The demand for action comes shortly after RPS Constable Clinton Duquette was charged under Saskatchewan's Privacy Act, in addition to former RPS officer Robert Semenchuk, who pleaded guilty to a breach of trust, as well as the termination of former police chief Farouk Sheikh due to inappropriate communications. The Board of Police Commissioners says its focus is to implement a number of actions over a period of time to help build trust back between police and the community.
We've all been notified that these cases need to be taken very seriously and that accessing information for not bona fide reasons will not be tolerated.
Davies says any new allegation of a privacy breach will automatically be sent to the Crown for review.
It was a very important day and meaningful to hear from those folks to talk about the impacts and really highlight why we have to always continuously be looking at our service and how we maintain and continue to build that public trust in the community.
Under the Police Act, Chief Davies says the disciplinary measures have been concluded in relation to Constable Clinton Duquette. Until his court proceedings are decided, he will remain on the force. Duquette's next court appearance is at Provincial Court in June. Sierra D'Souza Butts, CTV News, Regina.
Here's a summer workout, but it's not for the faint of heart. The fitness class is called Stadium Stairs. Runs over at Mosaic Stadium every Tuesday, giving participants an instructor-led workout using the stairs, the ramps, all of it. Classes run from 5:30 to 6:15 p.m. every Tuesday. My buddy Jimmy Adams did this. He survived. He said it was good. Runs till September 1st. Full schedule can be found at regina.ca/drop-in. Might not want to do that today, and if you do, you're going to want a lot of water.
A lot of water and a lot of breaks to protect yourself from that sun. We still have heat warnings in effect in many places in central and southern Saskatchewan. We're expecting highs surpassing 30 degrees today and overnight lows going to be in those mid-teen temperatures. Right now in Regina, we have reached 20 degrees and surpassed it. We're at 21 right now. Winds coming in at 33 kilometers per hour. Just a few clouds up in the sky. We're seeing more of that cloud cover through central Saskatchewan to start the day, and currently sitting at 19 degrees. Winds are a little bit stronger right now, coming in at 41 kilometers per hour. We're not talking about a lot of precipitation down south today. However, we are seeing a bit of it up north. It starts in the late afternoon and it does continue through until the evening and overnight hours. It could be coming with the risk of some storm activity, so be prepared for that if you are far up north today. Other than that, we're looking forward to tomorrow, where we see just a little bit of green popping up on the screen in central Saskatchewan there. And then we're looking forward to Friday, where more of that is going to be popping up, mainly right around that Alberta border. It does come with a very small risk of seeing some thunderstorm activity, but it is not likely. We're expecting to see more of that rain coming on the weekend, especially falling on Sunday. Today's forecast, as we mentioned, very hot, 32 degrees on tap for Prince Albert, the Battlefords, 33 in Saskatoon, 32 in Regina, and 34 degrees expected for Moose Jaw and Weyburn. You are seeing that wind icon quite a bit on your screen, though. So here's a look at today's wind gusts. We're going to be seeing the strongest of those gusts in those areas lighting up in red right between Regina and Yorkton there. Other than that, though, still a lot of the yellow on your screen, meaning we still could be surpassing 50 kilometers per hour for many places. Here's a look at your rest of your weekend through the weekend. Again, we're talking about some more precipitation on the way for the weekend. About a 40% chance of seeing that on Saturday for Regina, and it does shoot up to a 70% chance on Sunday. So more likely to be seeing that on Sunday. Temperatures will go down after Sunday. Until then, though, we're still talking about temperatures surpassing 30 degrees for Regina. In Saskatoon now, take a look at tomorrow's temperature. 36 degrees is what we're currently projecting. So again, that heat can be dangerous. Make sure you're checking in on those you love, including seniors and those who live alone. 33 degrees by Friday. Again, on Saturday, 28 degrees, but the chance of rain is sitting at about 40%, and it shoots up to 70% on Sunday, with that high expected to be 30 degrees.
Time for this day in history. On May 27, 1999, Julie Payette took off on Space Shuttle Discovery, becoming the second Canadian woman to fly in orbit. May 27, 1940, British and Allied forces began the evacuation of soldiers from Dunkirk, France. And May 27, 1969, construction began on Walt Disney World, the happiest place on earth, in Florida.
In case you missed it, the mayoral campaign is underway in Kitimat, BC. Of course, we are talking about the campaign for dog mayor. Two candidates. There is Gus, who is promising a fuzzier future with free universal health care for pets and more poop bags in parks. Also, Coco, who wants to see dog days at the local pool and pet-friendly sirens on emergency vehicles. Residents will vote October 17th. Now, the town is hoping this dog mayor race will help engage younger voters for the actual electoral process during this mayoral election year.
I like Coco's promise.
I was going to say...
Dog pool. Absolutely.
No, I'm going for the other one because I want the free health care for pets. Vets are expensive.
That is so true.
What do you, now we have to talk politics.
I feel like politics. We're gonna. And I don't know if he can follow through, but the pets and the pools, that guy can follow through. Question of the day: it is a hot day out there. It's going to be a hot day. What's your favorite cold treat on a hot day?
Lori's with you. You said you got a Slurpee.
I got my first brain freeze of the year. Yep.
Yeah.
It was tremendous.
I do love a good Slurpee. Kim, though.
What do you get though? What do you get though? Are you one of those? Are you swamp water? Are you doing everything?
No, absolutely not.
Mine was just cream soda on the bottom and 7-Up on the top.
No, I am a lover of the Kool-Aid Slurpees that you can get at Co-op.
Okay.
And
half Coke, half lime.
That's the one.
That's
the
how
one.
you go.
Okay.
Yeah.
Co-op, one of our fine sponsors.
No, I wasn't saying it for that though. I swear. I just really like the Kool-Aid Slurpees, and I'm a one flavor gal.
Kim's having a margarita. This is the one time you don't agree, or?
No. I'll have a margarita with Kim. Invite me over, Kim.
She did yesterday. We're going to her pool, remember?
Yeah, we're going to have margaritas when we go there. Sheena's saying I really enjoy an ice cap. Also just some good old ice water. Sherry's saying an ice cream cone, maple walnut, butter pecan, any kind of nuts in that ice cream. So yummy. We had Carrie saying ice cold wine Wednesday with the girls on the deck today. I am jealous.
All right, well, Carrie, we're all coming to visit.
Yeah. And we
need something to cool down after soccer practice.
We had another one saying, how about a nice cold ice bottle of beer, but it has to be a bottle, not a can.
Very, very specific.
Yeah, well, I've heard that. I'm not a beer drinker,
like that.
but I've heard that it tastes better in a bottle.
It's supposed to, yep. Tastes better free. That's how it tastes. We're back after this.
We are joined by Ted Cockwell, a man who has sold the farm literally, and his team at the Cockwell Group can help sell yours too. Ted, we're talking about some unique selling situations today. I understand that you've been hearing from more buyers who want to sell their farm or a portion of it and then potentially rent it back from the new owner. How does that work?
Yeah, it's sort of something that's new that we've been hearing the last 5-6 months, where someone calls us and they say, hey, do you know someone that wants to invest in the farmland market and do a long-term rental back to us? And so the reason that they're doing this typically is they're just trying to keep financial strength on the farm. They're trying to increase cash flow and reduce debt while keeping the same footprint and the same number of acres. So we're able to help these people out with the contacts we have, and it's a win-win for everybody.
Very cool. So it's essentially, it's like a stock market, an initial public offering kind of a situation.
Well, I'm not sure if I'd make that analogy, but I mean,
that's why you're here, to correct me, because my mind goes in a certain zone. So let's talk about then. Are you ever involved in share sales of farmland, and how can that help the seller?
Yeah, no, we've been involved in a few share sales. It's, for the most part, it's uncommon, but our job is not only to ensure the sellers get the most amount of money for their farm, but that they keep the most amount in their pocket. So sometimes a share sale can help them keep more money. There's all kinds of other things that we look at as well with our sellers, and we work with their accountants and lawyers and make sure that from a tax perspective that they're going to be able to hold on to as much of that cash as possible.
Right, that's the other part. Timing over the year, all sorts of other factors. That's a really, really good point, something that maybe not everybody considers. What other unique selling situations do you see out there?
You know, honestly, we look at every seller as a unique seller and a unique situation. And there's a whole bunch of them that are similar, but no two are exactly the same. So we don't have a one key fits all locks approach. We sort of look at each situation differently, and they all have little nuances.
Yeah, no doubt about it, right? There's no two farms are the same, so no two farm real estate deals should be the same. You don't have just the Cockwell Group cookie cutter, have you?
Exactly, yeah. We're very specialized, and so we approach each sale in a unique manner.
Fantastic. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time this morning, Ted. If you're looking to buy or sell or simply get some more information, you can get in touch with Ted and the team, your experts in the field at cockwellgroup.com.
I've got spring allergies, and when the pollen is floating around like this, it's not great.
For Maddie Fontaine, a trip to the dog park means her seasonal allergies could worsen.
It's just frustrating because you wake up and you've got a runny nose, you're sneezing all the time, and it just doesn't stop.
Fontaine isn't alone dealing with allergies.
It's coming fierce this year. Lots of people are coming with allergies, yeah.
Pharmacist Mohammed Al-Fashawi says he's seeing an uptick in the number of people looking for allergy relief.
The couple of days that we have like strong wind and, you know, all of a sudden it's just pushing everything, the snow mold, the pollens all over the place.
According to a University of Alberta professor, the late start to the spring means trees, weeds, grass, and plants are blooming and pollinating at the same time. Low amounts of precipitation this month is also affecting pollen production. The pharmacist says some might confuse seasonal allergies with a spring cold.
So usually with the allergies, there is like watery, the secretions are like clear, and there is no mucus in it, like it's not dark and like not sticky. We have to figure out if you have allergies, you can take over-the-shelf stuff.
He says there are prescription medications available. They could be pills, eye drops, or shots. It could cost $30 and up, less with insurance. Shots require a trip to the allergy clinic to figure out the best concoction before being administered by a pharmacist or doctor.
Injected in the skin, so you get used to the allergies, so your immune system doesn't respond as vigorous and as strong.
For Fontaine, she takes over-the-counter meds.
I just would love not to be taking that, but yeah, this time of year, it is what it is.
Resigned to the fact, for her, allergies go hand in hand with warmer weather. Naram Nisa, CTV News, Edmonton.
Health Report, brought to you in part by SEIU West, Saskatchewan's first healthcare union.
Now we head back out to Mike Siona, who's talking to some guys ready to put up their dukes.
Well, here we are in the ring now ahead of homecoming on the 13th of June. And right behind me, Gary Copas is putting Cole Smith through the paces as he prepares for his first ever pro boxing match. Cole, let's talk about that while you're out of breath, because that's how we do. We got to make sure your cardio is up to snuff here for this inaugural pro bout for yours. How excited are you?
Very excited. It's going to be cool to be at home in front of everybody, my friends, my family. Exciting.
Now, Cole, obviously, you know, the boxing community in this province, fairly tight-knit. How cool has it been to, you know, work with Gary, work with some of the other people in this province to get you ready?
It's actually been like a really cool experience because like I don't have like a number one coach. So how open Gary is, Vicky, all these different coaches that have been kind of helping me out. Even on the MMA side, one of my main sparring partners is Hunter Lee. and how open everybody is in this city to just help me out, to give me a hand. It's been really good.
Coaching by committee, I guess we could say. Now, Gary, from your perspective at the homecoming, obviously it's a pro-am. We have 10 amateur bouts, 3 pro bouts. How cool is it to see, a guy like Cole and that local boxing community get to shine on this stage?
Super exciting. With Cole, watched him in his boxing career so far and being part of it, seeing it, and then him making the big plunge to professional. It's super exciting.
Now on the other side, promoting this event, how can people get tickets?
Get your tickets at copusboxing.ca. All the links are there. If you're into tables, we got lots of VIP tables ready to go. Have the experience of the gourmet supper. We have that option also. So just, get your tickets, be there. That's the main thing.
As we mentioned earlier, a world championship on the line in Saskatchewan. It is homecoming. It is June 13th at Prairieland Park.
Welcome to your 8:30 news on your morning. My name is Daryl. Former Environment and Climate Change Minister Stephen Guilbeault is expected to announce his resignation as a Liberal MP today.
Prime Minister, Mr. Guilbeault, has he told you about his future, sir?
I'm a good friend of Stephen. I've worked a lot to bring him in politics, and he will always be a good friend.
I ask you about the 14 Liberal.
Resignation is believed to be over his climate policy concerns. He quit Carney's cabinet last year after Ottawa's energy deal was made with Alberta. This could affect the Liberals' thin majority, with 2 other shifts eventually triggering 3 by-elections. Charred and molten artifacts pulled from the ruins of a Saskatchewan wildfire are on display at the Saskatchewan Legislative Building. They are part of an art show staged by Danair Beach residents called Transformed by Fire. Here is Wayne Mantica with more.
Losing everything was devastating for Danair Beach residents touched by the massive wolf fire.
Destroyed 240-ish homes, cabins, and basically there was so little left.
Some residents returned to sift through the ruins of their property and found that a few items had survived. They have become part of an art show at the Legislative Building called Transformed by Fire.
And, that Transformed by Fire sort of talks about the items in the fire that were changed and transformed, but it also talks about our lives that were transformed and changed, and our whole environment. Our homes, our forest, all the environment around us, it has changed.
Some members of the legislature attended the show's opening at the Cumberland Gallery. They understood what the artists were trying to portray.
It's also the time to rebuild and a time for renewal, and for people just to come to terms with what has happened and to look forward to the new.
For some Danair Beach residents, the show is part of the healing process.
It was very emotional, but it was also kind of cleansing a little bit, trying to speak through my artwork rather than my voice.
Some Danair Beach residents hope their show at the Legislative Building will help government and the public understand the devastation caused by wildfires and the need to be well prepared. Wayne Mantica, CTV News, Regina.
A 20-year-old woman from Saskatoon left the comforts of her home earlier this month to help with the war effort in Ukraine. Carla Shinkaruk found out she set her mind to humanitarian work and is spending her summer break making a difference.
Yes. Thaisa Rudy has been in Ukraine for about 2 weeks.
It's always been in the back of my mind to come to Ukraine. So worked a whole bunch, saved up my money, and I'm super fortunate that I have such a huge support system at home.
A sociology student at the University of Saskatchewan, she paid more than $5,000 to spend her summer helping Ukrainian Patriot, an international aid group started by a woman originally from Saskatoon when the war began.
I have a bucket list of everything I want to achieve in my life, And going to Ukraine was #1 on that list and has been forever. You just want belly rubs?
One of her first assignments involved caring for pets abandoned because of the war.
So I have one of my Canadian pins on there that I pinned.
Now in the capital city of Kyiv, Rudy is experiencing the reality of a war zone firsthand. Russian attacks have been escalating, including a major air attack on the city this past Saturday. She was outside Kyiv at the time. Now she keeps a go bag ready in case she needs to take shelter.
But I need to do what I'm here to do, and I need to help out however I can help out. When you're walking and hearing the air raids, it brings a different sense of nerves to you.
She's now waiting for her next assignment.
With the war going on, you can't always predict everything that's going to happen. You go to where is most needed.
She says she's ready for whatever comes next, committed to helping people who share her Ukrainian roots and moved by the devastation many families have faced.
It's really sad for me to see so many places that people have just left because they had to. There was a full family using this house, and this was what they called their home.
Rudy hopes others will also consider helping, whether through donations to Ukrainian Patriot or other aid organizations, so support for people in Ukraine can continue. Carla Shinkaruk, CTV News, Saskatoon.
A recent gift to a Saskatoon-based animal rescue has already made a big difference following the intake of several kittens who were found in an apartment fire. Hallie Mandrick reports.
This is Dust Bunny. She's a kitten who recently benefited from a generous and potentially life-saving donation to a Saskatoon cat rescue.
This is an incubator which has the ability to also be used as an oxygen tank, and so allows for oxygen-dependent small animals, kittens, to be discharged from hospital when they're still in need of oxygen support rather than having to continue to stay in the ICU.
The Brooder 90 incubator system was recently gifted to SOS Prairie Rescue by a Saskatoon couple who adopted a cat from the organization. The rescue's president says, as a volunteer-run group that relies on donations, resources like this one go a long way.
So much of the time, the resources are dedicated to going right to the animal care versus having some of these expensive tools. So it really changes outcomes and supports us. And as caregivers, it makes this easier on us so we can be more effective and help more animals.
The Brooder 90 recently made a big difference after a litter of kittens were rescued from an apartment fire in Saskatoon, as several of the small kittens, like Dust Bunny, needed a little extra support in their recoveries.
For cats that have had smoke inhalation exposure, it's really important that they get oxygen therapy for at least a first initial period following the exposure, and then as long as they need to help support their respiratory system.
In addition to its use in helping cats suffering smoke inhalation exposure, the incubator can help some of the smallest and most vulnerable kittens who come through the rescue.
Teeny tiny neonate kittens are not able to maintain their own warmth, and they rely on their mother for that. But when they're not with their mom, they don't have the ability to maintain their own body heat. And so this is really instrumental in making sure that neonate kittens are kept warm so that they can survive.
Winnegar says it's not common for volunteer-run rescues to have equipment like this one, and they plan to use it well.
It makes things so much easier as caregivers, we're all volunteers and we do this in between our full-time jobs and our own pets and responsibilities. So having those supports just makes all the difference to our volunteers that are supporting the cats.
Hallie Mandrick, CTV News, Saskatoon.
As the old saying goes, old habits die hard. And that's ringing true for Micah Johnson, who finds himself reminding himself he's now Riders' coach, not a player. Donovan Mace reports.
Second down and 10 for the 26. Pressure. Micah Johnson has it.
It didn't take long for Micah Johnson to go from lining up on the defensive line to coaching it.
Obviously, the opportunity presented itself, and for me, it was just a matter of playing for another year or two like I know I could, or just, at some point, just getting ready for that transition to the next phase.
After a 12-year Hall of Fame caliber career came to an end this past offseason, Johnson says he already felt like a coach by the time he hung up the cleats, making the transition into his new role nearly seamless.
I've always been a leader every room, so for me, that part, that's the easy part, that's the natural part.
I've had some great coaches like Cornell Brown, Mace himself. Micah Johnson's up there, man.
Johnson was already a veteran when he and Mike Rose became teammates in Calgary in 2018, joining forces again in Saskatchewan last season. And the passing of more than a decade of football knowledge hasn't stopped.
He's trying to make us not robots. I think the biggest thing is he's trying to make us have some free will, have the ability to make a play, and having the confidence to make a play.
It's very key
when you want to win games, right? You want to be that team that's undefeated, right? So we're going to actually identify the fish that's on the offensive line and then, put your best guy on him.
And while Johnson has settled into retirement, there's still a few lingering habits still hanging around.
The preseason game, he's still got his headphones in, like he's getting hyped still, like, hey, you ain't playing, so, but that's just who he's always been and how he is, and that's how his group's going to be wired.
It's a lot of little things like that I got to break myself of, right? Just that energy before games, just like, you can chill out, right? All you're going to be doing is signaling.
Donovan May, CTV News, Regina.
The Snowbirds' hometown show in July is sold out in record time. As you know, it's the final season for the aging Tudor Jets, who do face retirement. The July 11th show will be the last public performance in Saskatchewan before those Jets are retired and eventually replaced by new ones in the early 30s. Organizers are warning you to beware of ticket scams from resale sites and resellers. Let's get over to the Weather Center and begin with a contest before that paint by number you got going on.
All right, Daryl, wake up and win with CTV Your Morning and Affinity Credit Union. We could pay your bills with a massive $20,000. Imagine what you could do with an extra $20,000. The possibilities are endless. Today's code word is riches. Head to the contest page at ctvsaskatoon.ca or ctvregina.ca or scan that QR code on your screen. Enter riches with your info for your chance to win. The Your Morning $20,000 Pay Your Bills contest powered by Affinity Credit Union, an affinity for you. All right, let's turn our attention back outside and talk about those heat warnings still in effect. And it's not just going to be for today. These are going to persist throughout the rest of our work week. Today, we have them in effect in Hudson Bay, Prince Albert, North Battleford, down through Saskatoon, Kindersley, Swift Current, Maple Creek, Assiniboia, Regina, Weyburn, and Estevan. Wynyard and Yorkton, you're getting a break from that today. Not quite seeing those temperatures into the 30 degrees, but it's still going to be hot in the high 20s. Current temperatures out there now, we're seeing double digits across the board, really. 13 degrees in Stony Rapids, 15 degrees for La Ronge, 19 degrees already in Nipawin, and 18 degrees in Melfort. Down in the south, we're seeing 20 degrees already for Moose Jaw and Assiniboia, 18 degrees in Swift Current, 19 in Weyburn, 21 if you're waking up with us here in the Queen City, and 19 degrees in Saskatoon. Later on in the afternoon, here's the reason we have those heat warnings in effect. 32 degrees for Prince Albert, 32 degrees in the Battlefords as well, although we do have a very small chance of seeing some very light precipitation, just a few showers there. 33 degrees for Saskatoon, 32 for Regina, and 34 degrees on tap for Moose Jaw and for Weyburn as well. So here's your reminder to take frequent breaks today from that heat. We're also talking about some elevated wind gusts today. Many places expecting them to be surpassing 50 kilometers per hour, including Saskatoon and Regina. The red area between Regina and Yorkton, that's where we're going to be seeing the strongest wind gusts this afternoon. And as we mentioned, the heat is going to be persisting. So tomorrow it's actually getting even hotter, if you can believe it, for Regina, up to 34 degrees, 33 degrees on Friday. And then the chance of the precipitation starts on Saturday. It's sitting at about 40% on Saturday for Regina, so it's not for sure. And if it does come, it's going to be a very light sprinkling. 31 degrees, though, with that. We'll still be seeing some sunshine. 30 degrees by Sunday. And here's where the chance of seeing that precipitation actually jumps up to 70%. So we're expecting more of that precipitation on that day. 24 degrees on Monday and 20 degrees on Tuesday. In Saskatoon, take a look at that temperature for tomorrow. 36 degrees on tap, mainly sunny skies continuing on. 33 on Friday, mix of sun and cloud. 28 degrees on Saturday. Again, we're talking about that chance of seeing some of that precipitation, but it goes up on Sunday to 30 degrees with that 70% chance of precipitation. 22 degrees by Monday, and then finally by Tuesday, getting a break from that excessive heat, dropping down to 14 degrees with that rain.
When it comes to Olympic hockey, Saskatchewan has a little history with its biggest rivalry. You're looking at rare footage from 1992 when Canada's Olympic men's hockey team faced Team USA at SaskTel Centre in Saskatoon. The game was played in January of that year, just a few weeks ahead of the Olympics, as part of an exhibition series before the Olympics began. This was before NHL players had ever left en masse to play in the Olympic Games. So this team included some future NHLers like Eric Lindros, Sean Burke, Joe Juneau, and Dave Archibald. The game started off with the U.S. grabbing the lead in the first period, but Canada battled back, getting the tying goal from Stéphane Roy, the brother of Hall of Fame goaltender Patrick Roy. And with the score 3-2 for Canada, Dave Archibald would put one home in the third period to give Canada a 2-goal lead. Team Canada went on to win 5-2 over Team USA in Saskatoon, their final game in North America, before playing in the Olympics in Albertville, France.
And if you want to check out more classic sports moments from the days of Wilco and wood finish televisions, you can check them out on our website.
Well, let's head back to the RCMP Heritage Center and see what else Janelle Lepie is finding among the exhibits.
Good morning. I am back at the RCMP Heritage Center, and of course Sam is joining me again. Sam, we have spent all morning checking out these 2 new exhibits. What else do you guys have going on here for the summer?
Well, it's summer, so it is our busy season, so we have a ton of programming and a ton of things going on for visitors this summer.
All right, so some summer camps, I hear. What else is going on?
Yeah, so we do have summer camps. Registration is open for those right now. We have 2 summer camps. One is called Detective Academy and one is called Forensics Lab. And it allows your children to solve crimes and have a lot of fun. We've got indoor and outdoor activities. And in fact, if you have a second child in the family who's registered, you get a discount.
All right, and registrations are open. Tell me what that looks like.
So you can just go to our website or just give us a call and we can help you through the registration process.
Fantastic. And of course, let's go back to these 2 exhibits because they're wonderful. We have been looking at them all morning here. When do those run until?
Those run until August 30th. And what's really great is we also have our depot tours starting. And so if you come for a depot tour, included in your ticket price for your unique tour onto depot, you can actually see the exhibits as well.
All right, so some really great opportunities to check things out. Sam, thank you so much for having us this morning.
Thanks so much for being here.
All right, well, once again, those exhibits do run until August. Not only the exhibits you can check out here as well. Summer camps, all kinds of things to enjoy these warm months with.
There you got the Edwards Ranch. It's the Dutton Ranch now.
Another Yellowstone spin-off strikes gold. The first 2 episodes of Taylor Sheridan's Dutton Ranch have nearly 13 million views within the first 7 days of release. That's a new record streaming launch for Paramount Plus.
And it feels like medication, and it's good for me, I'm sure.
Olivia Rodrigo has dropped the track list for her upcoming 3rd studio album. The Grammy-winning singer posted a photo of the tracks on her Instagram. Her new album, You Seem Pretty Sad for a Girl So in Love, is set to be released on June 12th. BTS is teaming up with Oreo for limited edition cookies. They'll have purple wafers and a cream center. They'll taste like hot dog, a brown sugar-stuffed Korean pancake. And happy birthday to rapper Andre 3000 of Outkast, who turns 51 today. That's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Alex Stone, ABC News.
Greetings, everyone. Indigenous languages are more than tools for communication. They're also used to express culture and a unique worldview. That's what a new show premiering this year hopes to showcase, bringing the Nakota language in a new, fun way to young viewers and young learners. CTV's Hallie Madrick tells us more.
Nakon Ia. Speak Nakota.
Nakon Ia with Kushi is a new children's show intended to help restore the Nakota language, which has fewer than 100 fluent speakers left.
To help save and preserve the language as we're going, as well as to help pass it on. It's just incredibly important that we do this, and it starts in the home. It starts with children, with the generation that we have now, right?
Produced at Saskatoon's Bamboo Shoots, Nakon Ia with Kushi features knowledge keeper Teresa Owatch and her puppet companion Kushi, who speaks in Nakota. The 13-episode series is designed for kids aged 5 to 9, but Owatch says it's truly for the whole family.
For our language to survive, we need the parents to start bringing it into the homes and not just in the schools. We need it in the homes, and this is that opportunity to do that.
While Genero has worked on many TV shows and films throughout his career, a children's show is a first for the director, and he says a lot of attention has gone into the details.
I'm watching heavily on what that tone is, matching the tone from, the shot before, thinking about the next shot, making sure that, we have that tone. And I want the tone to be like a big, warm Nakota hug.
The director added that this project is a first of its kind.
It's all in Nakota. And you know how special that is, because I'm watching something that has never been done for the first time, right? And being able to direct that is such an honor.
Watch says there's a lot of optimism behind this project.
We're hoping that this is gonna blow up the Nakota. We're hoping that every home and every child, whether you're First Nations, Mexican, Italian, that you're speaking the language. That's what we're hoping for.
Nakonia with Kushi is currently in production, and the team behind it is hopeful for the show to hit television screens this winter. For Indigenous Circle, I'm Hallie Mandrick.
If you have a story you would like to see in this segment, here's how to reach us. You can contact me by email, and you can also watch past episodes and segments of Indigenous Circle on our CTV Regina and CTV Saskatoon websites.
Indigenous Circle is brought to you in part by Saskatchewan Indigenous Enterprise Foundation, growing the First Nation entrepreneurial spirit.
A friendly neighborhood Spider-Man is catching a lot of attention in Fredericton.
Yeah, and CTV's Laura Brown has the story on the hero we didn't know we needed.
His spidey senses told him the world could use a pick-me-up. So he put on the mask.
I just wanted to come out, hopefully inspire people, do a good deed, make people laugh, and just kind of spread joy in whatever way I can.
The idea to become Fredericton's friendly neighborhood superhero started by untangling some bad guy behavior.
I drove down here the other day and noticed right along this whole strip there's a lot of garbage piled up.
So for about a month now, a couple hours a week, morning or night, whenever he can escape his real life, Spider-Man appears.
And do your family and friends know who you are and do they know you're doing this?
And nobody knows. No, I'm very sneaky.
Just as Peter Parker intended.
Definitely noticed the Green Goblin lurking around. So.
Frederictonians are taking notice and leaning into the Marvel.
Spider-Man is cool, but I'm more of a Batman guy. But no. It just causes people to be more social and to talk to people, right? I think that's just the valuable thing in community is just getting more people to talk to each other.
I've seen him on TikTok. I said, if I go to Fredericton, maybe I'll get lucky and see him. Well, I did.
He claims he's not looking for fame or fortune, but something that means a lot to this Spider-Man is showing children they can do good simply because it's the right thing to do.
The saying with Spider-Man is everyone can wear the mask. It doesn't have to be someone special. It can be boy or girl, any gender, any person, anywhere in the world can help out in their own way.
A reminder that with great power comes great responsibility. Laura Brown, CTV News, Fredericton.
I like the guy in the story that's like, I'm more of a Batman guy.
Well, the point is cleaning up the community.
He's picking up the...
Oh.
Let's get to sidebar. So you may like mac and cheese and you may like cheesecake, but would you eat this? Kraft Dinner is now serving up this slice of Katie mac and cheesecake, which Kraft says blends the unmistakable cheesy flavor Canadians know and love with a sweet cheesecake experience. I love cheesecake. This is an abomination. It will be available to try at a number of local bakeries across Canada, including San Remo in Toronto, in Winnipeg and in Calgary at a Cheesecake Cafe. And if you don't get a chance, don't worry. They're going to list this recipe so you can make it at home.
So this is frightening, and all I have to say is yuck.
I want my KD to be KD, and I want my cheesecake to be cheesecake.
And you know what? I think that's completely fair.
Those two things still exist. Well, this will be something completely different. A third pillar of
You're
the
pro
empire.
Kraft Dinner cheesecake?
Yeah, I don't know if it'll be good, but what harm can it possibly do?
All of the harm.
It upsets me.
No.
It offends my senses.
I'm gonna pass on this one.
Take us to Peru.
All right, Peru celebrated one of its national treasures this week. National Clown Day in Peru. Hundreds of clowns showed up to fill downtown Lima with music, laughter, and oversized shoes. Clown Day in Peru honors a performer who visited struggling neighborhoods in Lima in the 80s to bring some joy to those communities.
We got a couple clowns up in the control room. Their names are Bruce,
Corey,
Nathan,
Arden. Yeah,
Alex has clown-sized shoes. They're big. He's a tall man.
He's a tall guy.
A tall man. Alex, how big are your shoes? 15s?
We need some red noses and some horns and...
I guess so. If you're afraid of clowns, stay away from Lima. Time out. It's going to be very hot out there today. Remember water. Remember sunscreen. Remember, don't leave your kids or pets in vehicles outside. It's
Check in on your loved ones.
It's just not good. And that's it for us.
And rocks in your pockets, too.
That's our PSA for today. We'll see you tomorrow.